Anyways, we stopped with Aranoa entering the dining car. Is that what it's called in here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And being her attention being pulled by an altercation between a one-armed older tiefling and a warforged of some sort that has been pushed to the ground. And the last words spoken were, "You just poke my ass!" That's how that ended. Before he cold cocked him to the floor.
Until the guy cold cocked the
Correct.
Warforged?
The accuser punched the warforged to the floor. And people have now been alerted to that situation. Some people are kind of in a state of shock. There's only a handful of folk in here at this time, probably no more than 10. Some are kind of onlooking with disgust. Some are sort of egging it on a little bit, as a little more excitedly as some might. Some are getting up and leaving this car. So with the people that left, there's probably about 6 people, including yourself, left in this dining car currently.
I still have Detect Magic up, I believe. It lasts for 10 minutes. You said we'd be stopped for 10 to 15 minutes. Is the end of the stop?
This is towards the end of the stop. There's probably a good 5 minutes left.
Am I able to assess the situation as far as their magic goes between the Warforged and the guy who did the pushing?
Warforged appears to have some sort of bladed weapon that has been kind of for the moment knocked to the floor, and a staff.
And their magic?
The little blade is.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be anything glowing on the other person.
Okay. I suppose I'll rush over and see if I can help.
Sure. The tiefling is still kind of looming over where this warforged has been knocked to the ground. That's kind of the scene.
Whoa, what's going on over here?
This guy poked me in the ass!
Are you sure he did that on purpose? It doesn't seem like something I see Warforged doing all that often. No, I'm just trying to diffuse the situation. I mean, unless it's in their programming.
There's a joke. I swear there's a joke in here somewhere.
It is. We'll find it eventually. He's kind of looks at you perplexed a little bit, doesn't understand how to process what you've just said to him.
A fair response.
I felt a poke in my ass, and when I turned around, this clown was standing there.
Was there anyone else around?
No.
What? And I looked down at the Warforged on the ground. What? From your end, what happened?
You do not get a response out of that Warforged.
Can I make a something check to see if I can figure out why it's not responding?
Sure. Let's say maybe it could be perception, it could be medicine, it could be maybe even investigation, I suppose.
Okay. Oops. I'm gonna be clicking all kinds of stuff on Roll20.
Yeah. Would you prefer to use the computer that's right here? You can pull it there.
No, it's okay. I will do an investigation. 8.
They appear to be unconscious, but not dead.
Did that punch from the guy from Tiefling seem powerful enough to do that? I mean, just from looking at it was that hard of a punch?
I mean,
I guess so. Okay.
yeah.
are many fights in this world decided with a single punch?
I would think the Warforged would have more durability too. Like, so I'm just wondering if there's like a circuit loose or something.
They do have a natural armor, but no more health than any other person.
Sure.
So if you can hit them, you can hit them.
Sir, I think you probably got him back good enough for poking you in the butt. You knocked him out. You can leave him, I think.
Fine. And he'll start to walk out of this dining car if you don't stop.
Oh, no. What the fuck ever. Get out of here. I see if I can wake the Warforged up.
Just let the what the fuck ever. Get out. Go.
Go be an asshole somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not my dream.
After a little
This is
coaxing,
the
they
dining
do
car.
kind of come through, kind of scramble around.
Yeah, can I, like, sorry, I meant to ask, can I, like, do some healing on them or
If you want to.
something?
They didn't take any lethal damage.
Sure. I mean, I'll cast the Cure Wounds on it. Does that work on Warforged? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want you to burn something you don't need to, because I don't think you need to heal people when they're just
Okay,
non-lethally.
If he wasn't taken to 0.
sure.
Yeah.
How about for flavor? I cure wounds through the niceness of my presence.
Yes.
Fudge.
They just kind of wake up a little bit dazed and kind of look about and find that little dagger on the ground.
What happened?
I don't know what that voice sounded like now. So forgive me, but they just kind of look around for a minute and kind of start slipping that back into a little box that seemed to be opened. It appears my friend was not kept the way I thought. I'm sorry.
Right,
They didn't,
I forgot about the
themselves up.
dagger.
Well, you weren't there.
Yeah, but I remembered hearing about it.
I think we mind linked and we talked about it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then in that way, it would
Might not have recognized it was the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but once
didn't
I
get a
heard that,
description.
I think it might trigger that. Sir, do you think you have this? I shouldn't call them sir. Or them sir. I don't know what they are. Do you think you have this thing under control enough to keep it from doing harm outside of your wishes?
I can't fully control my friend. They're their own person.
Is the dagger a tiny warforged?
Yeah, can I look at the dagger?
For what it's worth, coming from thinking that having thought about this a lot, right?
It's a sentient piece of metal.
Yes, exactly.
Hanging out with a sentient piece of metal.
That's all it is, right? Yes. And as an object and a person, seeing a sentient weapon is an object and a person. I
Sure.
I mean,
But-
this is a little out of game, but just philosophically, is a sentient weapon not its own personage?
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Is it not its own being?
Is it not its own type of warforged?
Sure.
It's a being with shit mobility until someone picks it up.
Right, yeah. Yes.
But it has sentience, right? Isn't that what we gauge as whether something is a life or
There are
not?
living beings that
That's
have
another-
that issue too, mobility, so
Yeah.
that should be jumped.
Flowers.
Babies.
Baby
Sure.
flowers.
But if they were causing active harm on a train to other people, they may get kicked off of that train.
Fair.
Sounds like you need to talk to the doctor.
If it doesn't have
That's
returning,
why
you
I'm
can just
asking.
chuck
Can
it
I
off
look
the
at the
train.
dagger and can I try to talk to this dagger? Or
It's currently he has now tried to put it back in a box.
Do you have rights? Do you like those rights?
can
Does it have a ticket?
big question. Can I speak
You're not supposed to
with
be
your
on
dagger? Your friend?
Ticket, please.
No ticket.
May I speak with your friend?
We're about to have a whole Star Trek episode of like that the data
Hi,
trial.
Data.
The data trial is coming, and
If I
I
catch
feel
you, do you not blow? Big time.
Sorry. There's all kinds of buttons.
like they're going to open that box up like a crack towards them, and just kind of like speak in and say, "This young woman would like to speak to you. Does she have your consent?"
Fuck yeah.
So it'll like open up the lid and display it to you.
What is your name, small friend?
You never got an individual.
No, I did not.
Little friend.
Sorry, I asked you at a bad
Would
time.
be the appropriate question.
Nice to meet you.
Say hello to my little friend.
James!
God damn it!
Found her.
Hooray!
5 letters is all it takes.
This is how it's killing.
And
God, I hate remembering that too.
Every world needs at least one.
Yes.
I need to take notes. I need a list of James's.
And their corresponding worlds.
Yeah, I can help.
is he actually James?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what the robot calls it.
I have spoken.
No, not the robot. He said it himself, right? James the Dagger?
The dagger said James.
Okay.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is. The dagger said
and-
things. I don't know why, right? But it's
And where do you come from,
Because
James?
it's absurd.
I don't know. Where did any of us come from?
Well, I come from the woods around, what's our town again? Mayfield? In the woods around Mayfield. What about you?
I don't know.
How long have you been here?
What is time?
right.
You did not expect us to grill the sentient knife, did you?
Just because it's sentient doesn't mean it has
At least 79 years?
Wow, you must have a storied life. Now, tell me, friend, how do things go when you go poking people who don't want to be poked?
Surprisingly varied.
Do they tend to skew more good or bad? timing of that. Perfect.
I
have a mixed relationship with this chair.
That's a good title for this episode, honestly. Surprisingly varied. We'll see how this goes.
Over the course of 79 years, starting to break even.
Interesting. Well, I gotta tell you, I don't think your friend. I gotta tell you, I don't think your friend appreciates when you do that because they end up taking, I'm guessing, the brunt of the consequences. Isn't that right? What's your name again? I didn't catch it before. Mine's Aaron Noah, by the way.
Excellent. My name is Dagger.
Whoa.
God
What?
damn it! I love it.
What just happened?
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Dagger.
Two soulmates.
The dumbest
just
fucking improv sketch comedy you can
Yes.
possibly have.
Does this happen often where people assume you're the one doing something that James here actually did?
Yes, and I understand it.
I mean, I would too if my friends went around stabbing everybody and weren't able to back it up. But
I don't stab, I poke.
not there. I'm just
Yeah.
acting as a player.
But do you really want to be causing harm to Dagger? Dagger just got knocked out clean because of what you did.
And that's funny.
You know, the company you keep is yours to decide, but
No, it's not. It really isn't.
I mean, I'm talking to Dagger.
I'm talking to
Shut up, Dagger. I'm talking to Dagger.
It's on first.
Yeah.
Dagger, I really gotta say,
I don't care.
if you're even mildly in control of this thing, you gotta keep from harming people. Or I think me and my folk are gonna have to take it away from you
I
and
understand.
give it back to you when we get there.
That's
of course.
entirely my fault. I'll do
No, it is not your fault, but you're taking responsibility for it. So
So it's
I'll be seeing you around while we're on this trip. Where are you getting off, by the way?
Good question. Looks at his ticket.
Yeah, it depends on where you want to get off with.
Ooh. We are getting off at Windy.
You got WD-40? Because that was
What?
smooth.
Windy. WIND.
Oh.
Snag.
oh.
I could see how. Yeah. When I wrote this down on the paper, there was no connection, and in this moment of just choosing one off the list, I was like, "Wow!"
It's like time slows down. I've made a mistake.
But the words are already out, and they're forever immortalized
Yeah.
on recording. So
Windy Snag. Snag.
How far is that? Do I know how far that is in relation to where we are now, or
given your character and where they have been, do you think they will?
Probably
There's no. I'm not saying that to like shy you away from saying yes. That's an honest question.
Right.
Do you think that you have?
depending
a
on
good-
where Wendy Snag is in relation to Mayfield? If it's,
It's-
close,
it's
yes.
further-
If it's not, no.
It is not close to Mayfield based on where you are.
No,
So
no.
like, okay. But you are mentally linked with the rest of your party, correct?
Mhm.
And I'm not exactly sure, Button, if you need to, Sheriff, like how much your knowledge of this geography of this world is, but I do think that at least Tower has a better understanding based on that story. Possibly Shra, if Shra thinks that they have traveled around this area, Allendale. This is the continent of
How big
Allendale.
is continent all in all?
Well, it still technically includes the portion of the undiscovered southwest that you've
Like
led
if
into.
you were to put it
but
in
this
the United
known-
States
The
for
known
comparison.
drawn map kind of thing, we are still in like, if we were to think about American history, it'd be like the early times before
For Mississippi.
the western part had really been settled.
Before
There's still
Manifest Destiny.
there are people that are like taking
Right.
chances and going that way to try and make something for themselves. They're just not always coming back. But there is a good
And I'd
portion.
say I'd travel
that kind of
most
runs-
the lived areas then.
There's a good portion of land that goes all the way northeast and all the way southeast. Like this eastern portion of this continent really goes a ways. As you know, it like takes a week from Mayfield just to get to Arthavis, and you've now left Arthavis, and that the time to get up is could be even more. Take like a few months to try and travel to Alentia from there by horse, whereas it's taking days by train. So that didn't exactly specifically answer what you're, but
Over the mine link, I'll say I ran into the Warforged with the sentient knife, and they're causing more problems. They're getting off at Wendy's Snag. What is it?
Windy Windy Snag.
Windy Snag.
It's singular, not plural.
I know. I just
Or
know.
possessive.
Right.
Whatever.
Well,
Yeah, it's not possessive.
Something upon which
that's
the
like,
wind gets caught.
that's on their like welcome. You're now entering sign that says Windy Snag. We're not possessive.
Oh, right. I remember that sign. I believe it was.
Windy Snag. We apologize.
For what?
How far out we are from Windy Snag.
Okay, sure. Don't you have a thing where you can make maps and perfectly recall where
Yes.
you've been? No,
Yeah.
I don't want you to.
Okay.
You know.
I thought that was just a no, you can't have that.
No. I was like, why am I making a roll for something that you've taken abilities to be good at?
Eidetic memory, fuck you. Nerf.
Let's see what
Like
that-
this is the wheelhouse, right?
Yeah.
like,
it's
Location.
excellent.
Oh, and just in case we get into arguments of what Flint would know, I feel like he would know places that the, like larger places that the lightning rail goes to.
Sure. This is actually not going. So you know this about Windy Snag. Windy Snag. It is
I'll just call it
Not-
WS if it
Yeah,
makes it
WS.
easier.
the next stop that you're going to be. You've already been told over the train is that you're going to be going to Rotograd, which is like the next big city. At like because we are traveling northeast towards Elloria. The next big city on that path is Rotograd. WS is after that. You have to go to like one of the stops you are currently at. You have to take that stop, get off, and then probably get there by wagon, horse, something else because it's not a we call it a train town. It is a small town, kind of like Mayfield-ish, but probably bigger, off the beaten path of this train.
But Rotograd
Is a train town,
is a train town.
train city.
Is that the closest train city to WS?
Like, where's the stop that you stop at
To
to
get
take
to-
the horse?
You take that's what I was trying to say. So like you are stopped at a train stop that is not a city. It is like just a train away station place right now,
Yeah,
not in the city.
Yes, right now.
You stop at one of those after Rotograd,
And
and then take your horse or your buggy or whatever you
From
got
that one.
from that one
Okay.
to WS.
They're just 2 stops away. It should not be. We should keep an eye on them. It might be an issue. That dagger is an interesting character.
I spoke with it. It had some interesting things to say.
Did it have a rapier whip?
No,
Shop
it seemed more
tongue?
confused than anything else.
If it's coming through, if I could describe what I think that dagger's personality is like, it's like a Canadian on South Park.
Yeah, okay. I like that we're calling it that dagger when it has a name.
Yeah, James.
Yes. Yes. Very fun.
Yep. That dagger, not that dagger.
Yes.
not
Exactly.
dagger.
Right. Anyway, they are just a couple stops away. Hopefully, it will not be an issue.
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining that Dagger has one of those surname, personal name things, and his personal name is that. So that it's just, it is that Dagger.
Maybe someone could pass through the dining car on their way back and just see if they are causing any more issues. I don't know.
I'll take a look on my next round.
Sure.
But that's pretty much the fuss of that stop. And as some new faces start to come on, not many, but a few here, the train does the final moments of what it needs to do before finally starting to pick up again and moving on. Chugga, chugga.
Shit, I was too chugging short on that. I apologize.
I mean, besides making rounds and checking on things like that, is there anything you want to do on this train?
Keep an eye on what we're supposed to keep an eye on.
Let's see. Travel from there.
Where is he? What's his problem?
It's been spinning in a circle for 30 seconds. And then stop to poke at your computer.
I would say that by the time that you will reach Rotograd is going to by the time you reach that stop, it's going to be evening time, like sun setting, like the dinner hours, which this train does have meals. I don't think we talked about that, but meals would probably be provided for you because you're working. May not be what the other half eats, but
What the other half eats.
But yeah, you do have meals. You're not going to be nickel and dime there. What else information would be important about this? That's just to say that when you leave that place, they probably stay there for a few. You'd know this. They probably stay there for a few hours for the next turnover to move on, and so that part of the trip is like people bedding down as well. But that being said, if there's nothing specifically anyone else wants to do, we can do some more watches just to see what happens.
Yep.
Watch.
Just
Like Celeste. Just like Celeste.
I would say, in lieu of the way we did it before, I think it would be cooler for everyone just to roll your own D100.
Ooh.
I'll do. One?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was pointing at my number.
I guess we'll start there and come back around this way. It'll just be easier for me.
Yep.
A moment. As you come around, knowing what this train's layout is, how do you think you want to be walking through this whole train?
Yeah, my round would be a full lap. First, starting from the steerage, going into the sleeping car, first class, dining, galley, while I'm in the dining, and the galley, making sure I keep a close eye for that Warforged and that dagger to see if that dagger specifically is out. Checking in with the helm, walking all the way back down, and then double checking into the cargo at the end before landing in the steerage again.
So just roll also a D8 for me.
Here comes the date. It's 7. Is that on camera? Probably. Oh, I can't see right now. Yeah.
I get it. So this is about, you've made it pass all the way up through coming back. But as you get into that dining car, you do not see the Warforge, or you do not see Dagger or James currently in this car. As I'm saying, time has passed since you've taken off.
Yeah.
And you've made these walks. And as you get back to the steerage, you do see that tiefling character in one of the stalls, kind of a shaggy-looking dwarf sitting across from him. And they're just in the middle of a conversation, and the bit that you walk into is that tiefling being like, "And this guy's poking my ass! So naturally, I had to lay the motherfucker out." The guy's like, okay, yeah, trying to eat something, some kind of ration, but like just, and as you kind of walk past, like that's the bit that you get.
Sure. I clock that conversation. I'm like, I understand. And then move past it and get into the cargo to finish off my rounds there, and then back to the stairs.
Oh, 49.
49. Roll a d8 as well, please.
The date. That's my new thing.
7.
It's a good
7? And as Tower comes back and you get up to do yours and you kind of pass.
Well, no, because
Oh.
we
We
always
got-
have
we
two
got a
people
time.
going at the same time, so I'm heading the opposite direction at the same time if we're at the same.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so well then, I guess this is a little out of order, but we understand. Like as Tower is up at the front and you're getting up to go
Yeah.
back, still in the steerage. You see, how does that work? You see somebody. They appear to be presenting female. They look human, from what you can tell. They have like very fair hair, and they're kind of making a bit of a scene with the people around, like almost in a "what up, fellow kids" kind of way, using weird common slang that just isn't fitting correctly. I don't know how to really like say that without just describing it to you. I think it's better off than me trying to figure that out there. But there's something awkward about them. Yeah. You keep hearing them, huh?
Correct.
You keep hearing them sometimes in that moment that it takes you to get up from your seat and walk out of this, saying things like, "Boy, we humans sure do get hungry."
Can I try and listen in a little bit more?
Sure. Just like dead stop, actively listening in curfew, or what's up?
Like slowing down, I guess, just to pass through the car to hear a little bit more, but not making it obvious.
And they're like, "Whew, boy, it sure is almost time for humans like us to go to sleep, isn't it?"
It burns. It burns.
I'm not.
That's about all you're going to get unless you really want to linger there for a long time. Yeah. That is the gist of that. But other than that, your walk and you kind of pass Tower in the middle. Pretty quiet, except for that weirdness that you clock. And when you come back, eventually they are still there. Still pretty awkward. Sheriff?
I have a 60.
A 60. Roll the 8, please.
5 for a change of pace.
Walking through the halls, you get yourself into first class, which, if I move this for myself, no, I know what to do. I want to remind myself what it looks like. What? I just told the GM layer, like the opacity, to be like off for me, and it's still showing it. You know what? I know why. Because that's not on the. You'll see it. I believe first class has their own compartment rooms. Whereas when you walk through the sleeping car, it is lined with the classic like bunk bed and like green cloth that like covers each little nook.
Mhm.
The first class has like it looks like a hotel hallway. They have their own doors.
Harry Potter style.
You're
Or
still
like
thinking of
beds.
2 benches. I'm talking about no. Like you don't
Like a
see
bed.
it in. It is like doorways with numbers, and that's it. Like a very posh.
Titanic style.
I think I only watched that movie one time, so I'm gonna go ahead and decide that you know it better than me and say
There's a
yes. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I was referring to the boat, sir.
I saw a joke that was like an American and a Canadian decide to want to watch a movie, and they're like, "Let's watch a movie." And the Canadian says, "Okay, what do you want to watch?" The American says, "Titanic." And fuck, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Oh,
and,
no.
the Canadian says, "What's that about?" And they're like, "Yes, it's a very big boat."
Ah.
Well, because you gotta say a boot.
No,
Oh.
because you can't. You have to let the
It's a reading joke.
Yeah, it's a reading
Because
joke,
It took
but
me a
still.
second when I saw it. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh well.
Like
Throw your digital tomatoes, audience. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck you, critics.
But that's just to say that you guys have been walking these halls, and I haven't really mentioned it, but yeah, you walk into the space, it like practically opens up in a way that you wouldn't expect from the outside. It has like hotel-like doors that are lining down here. And as you enter this space that looks very nice, the first thing you see completely out of place is a kind of haggard, dirty-looking elf who is like knocking on doors,
leave it, Louis.
knocking on doors, having brief conversations, and basically getting the door shut. And they're probably like 3 doors down from you.
If I go crazy, then I used to come Superman. Louis, leave it.
If you don't leave it, I'll eat your children. Yeah, that shut you up.
jokes on you not having kids.
Yeah.
But the takeaway is they definitely seem out of place. Like they're not. I mean, that's kind of fucked up for me to say, but like, you know.
Yeah. Oh. Get. Someone. Yeah. Someone. Come on.
Go.
I said,
When has Lou ever listened to this?
go. Go on now.
Go on now, get.
Go on now. Get. Don't see, I don't love you anymore.
Oh, he's getting scared.
Yeah. He does get scared.
Why do you yell like that?
Because it's not.
Because it amuses him.
I'm just gonna make it so we have to shampoo the carpets again.
Gross. What you gonna do with the information, bro?
Invest. Sorry. Which one is it? You know that one I'm supposed to get off texts.
Nothing good.
The one I'm supposed to be good at, insight. I would like to
Sure.
insight to determine, like, the nature of knocking around up here.
Sure, go ahead. Roll inside.
Total 6, 18.
18 is much different from 6. I know you're going to say 16, but
Yeah.
it just sounded like 6.
That is also a true statement.
Yeah, you kind of sit there and watch him for just a second, like maybe 1, maybe 2 doors more, just to kind of get a read off him. He seems to be in some way, shape, or form, like panhandling this corridor. In fact, you do see just a hand of coin get dropped in his hand on one of the doors, as if to just get him the fuck away.
On my shift, I will pass him up and offer him a silver.
He'll be a little afraid at the first moment of interaction, as I feel like you still have a persona about you that reads.
Oh,
"I
yeah,
am
no.
Sheriff."
Yeah, no. Anybody who continues to wear that hat in a train.
Mhm. So in that way, there's that moment of oh fuck. But
Which
when-
I would imagine that the angle of it would be just like all you can see looking down is just that fucking hat and a silver piece popping out.
But you do hand him that silver, and just this wash of relief comes over him as he thanks you, takes the silver, and before you can leave, kind of stops you for a minute, and just does this
He
little,
won't tell me about owls, is he?
if only, he casts Disintegrate.
Oh no!
What he
It's
will
because I was
You used
cheap.
the silver, you just gave him as a spell component.
Mhm.
Fuck you, right?
He will, it was the last piece he needed for his phylactery.
Come down. I've fallen into one of the classic wonders.
Could you imagine giving the Lich the final piece?
Your random act of kindness has doomed everyone on the train.
I see.
Congratulations.
I assume that's where your other campaign's going.
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing big bad evil work.
Yeah.
But he is going to like kind of do like if you've ever seen the show The Magicians or whatever. So like some kind of
Naruto.
ritual, Naruto like ritualistic hand motion that like as he puts his hands in a way such as this, by the end of it, a little bead is left, and he hands that to you, and then leaves.
Press decision obtained a bead into my hand.
Might have.
Sort of.
I forgot that that's a thing you can do with prestidigitation for a long time. Just make a small item that fits in the palm of your hand.
That's not what this is, though.
Yeah, I
But
get
yes,
that.
I hear you.
That persists?
I believe so.
Isn't it just like an illusionary object or
Oh,
something?
it's just an illusion. of
This
like
is-
I'm
Certainly-
pretty sure it's like a very small
illusion.
illusion.
Gotcha.
You would know immediately this is no illusion. It is a like small, for lack of a better term, it is a bead. It is probably no bigger than like a D20. It is red in coloration. It is spongy to the touch.
Oh. A
So I'm
spongy
just-
bead? Like, that just makes me think it's like flesh of some kind or something. I don't know.
Is there an identification I can do to know what I'm looking at?
Do you have a way to identify items?
Eyeballs, Arcana, nature. Not that I'm trained in half of these, but
I will allow for either an Arcana or a Survival. That might change the type of information you're going from.
I'm going to go survival strictly because I don't want to embarrass myself with a 0 Arcana. I'd rather embarrass myself with a 0 survival. It's a 19 though.
On a 19, you kind of inspect it. Like I said, it is spongy to the touch, though smooth, not like it's not perforated. Or anything.
Like a clown nose.
A little bit, sure. But where it differs from most clown noses, at least, there is a sort of floral fragrance to it. Some kind of like, some kind of indiscriminate, fruity like smell to it, and you get the sense just from its touch, this might be edible. But you can also tell, due to the nature of receiving it, it doesn't. You might need more. You might need a better pair of eyes to figure out precisely what you have. But through your survivalness, you can tell. It seems like it could be imbibed. Is imbibed only for liquid?
think so.
I think so.
I'm not sure.
At any rate, you can ingest.
You can
it.
imbibe anything if you try hard enough.
Sure. It looks like you could ingest this beer.
All right. Who has the next one? It's you. No. You before you go off, you know what this is?
I'll take a look at
A vagrant magic this up for me.
it. Interest, and you took it.
Well, I didn't take it. It was given in return for the kindness of a silver piece.
Sure. I can take a look at it, or I could maybe after my walk, I can do an identify spell on it.
All right.
Ritually.
I'm just gonna leave this over here.
Okay.
With even as smooth as this train is, there's just a slight like vibration that happens here. Just the powers of the various magics that are layered on this thing that makes it run, which could make someone's head spin if they really tried to crack into it. You see it just slightly jiggle around where it's been
Commence the jiggling.
Can I just make a check on it?
Sure.
Just to see if I
Yeah.
recognize it?
You see like a cursory, just straight arcana, or if you're specifically looking for some kind of magicalness to it.
Yeah, I'll do that. So it's plus 4. 14.
14. And also, like, just through a conversation with Flint, gleaning that it's probably ingestible.
You thought about eating this thing?
You still can't.
It doesn't smell bad.
You still can't put an exact finger on what it is specifically. But what you are able to glean outside of what Flint has already figured out, it is in fact ingestible. It looks like it's meant to dissolve rather than just be straight eaten. It looks like there's some kind of activation to the enchantment that you can clearly kind of pick up on here, although you're not sure exactly what it is. But it looks like some sort of liquid is the activation of the magic within.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
I think I'll try to identify it when I get back from my watch, but I don't know. Maybe this is something to make a potion or something? We'll see.
Sounds like a whole lot of rigmarole to go through for a piece of water bread.
Mm-hmm. How many tenders did you order?
I had a 5-piece meal.
Oh god, headcanon now. It's literally just a ball of Wonder Bread.
I am too. Like
It's
that's
like I was
Okay.
expecting
a big old
I was
yeah.
offer around everybody. It's a place called Tinder Shack. I never heard of. I assume it's a pop-up kitchen.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Tender Shack.
Yeah.
I heard Tinder Shack, and that's a very different business.
That business went up in flames years ago. It was bad.
No, it's good.
Okay. By the standard definition of that one, right? Yeah. Sorry, I was still stuck on
So yeah, I'll pass the phone around.
Tender House.
Oh goodness! Second dinner. Love it.
Well, like that soup.
I know.
It wasn't, yeah.
A chowder and tender dinner sounds.
If you have them at the same time, that actually sounds like it might.
Yeah, no, check. Yeah. Tender chowder.
Chicken tenders can kind of go with any other
Look,
dish.
at this point, with what we got finally from that place, it's like we had our soup salad round.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and if I had known they had no chili, like, as we were ordering, I probably would have gotten, like, a half sandwich to go with it.
Right.
But it wasn't until after we
Yeah,
ordered
and we
and
waited,
waiting,
like,
and I'm like, I'm not gonna.
So now that you know exactly what you want and exactly what we don't have, let me continue enlightening you on the latter.
So they have a 5-tender meal. They can go mild or spicy, and they have sandwiches
Hashtag not sponsored.
and cookies.
Well, there we go. Maybe all my sandwiches.
Chicken tender sandwiches.
Sick. So
I don't need it. I'm resisting the urge to.
Nashville hot. Man, sorry guys, listening to this at home. We're on a.
Yeah,
We'll get this in post.
the Nashville high. No, I'm not going to edit this. Why would I?
I know you're not. That's why I'm saying we'll get it in post.
Yes.
Because no one's going to watch this joke.
Drinks
Not
are
because you haven't
additional,
edited the
that's
joke
good.
out,
Yeah,
but because
I
no
love
one's
that.
watching.
And they just have
Fuck
like
you
one
out.
standard kind of fry, right?
Yep.
Sure seems that way.
It's
That all
very
seems
minimal.
that's perfect. Cool.
Oh no, I'm holding it.
So there's a bead that has been passed and waiting to be possibly. Yeah, the bead has been passed. I heard it too. It's the curse of the DM.
Yeah.
You try to find, like, I just said the same word 5 times in a row. I need a new word that means the same thing. Great, now it's sexual. Cool. Yeah. That being said, we're waiting to identify that thing. We're having a change of guard, if you will, or at least moving in time to a different guard. Go ahead. What was your
96.
96?
Big 96.
Why is the smallest number of tenders I can get 8?
Where did you
Please.
find 8?
Sorry, 10.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What was I looking
There's a 5 meal, but it comes with fries.
As you roll the 8,
3,
If you order 10, I'll eat some.
if they're regular.
I'm fine with regular.
you
Alright.
walk through the kitchen area. And there's just a lot going on. Like people stewing, throwing things in pots, people dicing things up. What?
People's doing. I'm sorry.
So fucked up.
See, I got the
It's
potatoes.
passionate.
Who else?
There is
Making stew.
There's a level of haze.
That's it.
There's a level of haze in the air because you can't tell if it's steam from cooking or if it's the dragonborn, who is literally smoking from the nostrils in the corner, like mixing up some kind of whip, which you have to get closer to find out. But he looks very stern, very intent. The batter itself, or the cream that's being folded, has some sort of a pinkish coloration to it as he's whipping that vigorously. Everyone else is running like a chicken with the head cut off, pulling things here, pulling things there, barking at each other. Right in front of you, there seems to be the main man of the establishment. This like bigger, kind of heavy-set orc gentleman who's just sitting there, like meticulously plating a few things, and everyone passing him. Thank you, chef. Yes, chef. Thank you, chef. Yes, chef. One person goes to pull up. Oh shit! Almost have it. Yep. They go to pull up this powder, sugar chef, and he sticks his hand in it to go put stuff in and looks and, get the hell over here! The guy runs back. This is the rat poison! Are you trying to kill people tonight? Sorry, chef. Get the hell out of my kitchen!
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Woo. Let's call.
it gets switched.
Do you know how I found out? Yeah, that tastes like fucking Red Bull.
And as they start carrying this thing away, sorry, chef. I grabbed this from the sugar section. I'm so sorry.
I feel
Am
like
I
we got
able
our
to
first
see-
clue on the narrative mystery.
Am I able to see the
Oh
sugar
my
section?
god, this is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're on a train. How did I not see this? Oh god.
Can I see the sugar section?
What? Who are you? Why are you in
No,
my
I-
kitchen?
I'm not asking him. I'm just asking if Aranoa is able.
If you're
to
aware of
see
it,
Yeah.
how many kitchens like this? How many restaurants has Arano been in? That's my first question.
Restaurants?
The kitchen.
Kitchen or restaurant? Sure.
Not very few, if any.
I would say make an investigation check at disadvantage because this is very distracting in this area. And you are
Oh, I rolled a 4 both times, so it's 8.
sort of like constantly trying to get out of the way to make your way through this place. Yeah. 8. You see 3 door options in this area. One to the left, one straight back, one to the right. People coming out of the right seem to be carrying things like full turkeys, pig head. You haven't seen anyone come out of the left. Did that actually work out for you guys? That I actually motioned to the right directions? Because I did that on accident. I have to be honest.
Yeah, it worked.
It's all that training.
Yeah.
Years of training.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'll try to just again. I never did talk to the chefs. I'm hoping he didn't just yell at me for real.
No, he did. He's yelling at everyone.
But
I can sit here and relive like 11 years of my life, but just know like
You just catch
this kitchen is loud,
collateral
and you're
aggression.
hearing things. Clang, 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 pans go to the ground, and people like, "What the fuck are you doing? Look out! This is hot! Hot food! Hot food! Hot food!" Thank you, chef.
Lamb sauce.
Where the hell's the pepper?
sorry, chef.
Number 4 still waiting on their food.
I asked for
Yeah.
paprika. This is not egg.
Ding, ding. Like it's chaotic,
And you know
it
that
hurts to hear.
smoke is getting into the fucking cream that he's making
Mhm.
as well. And
Yeah, because now that as you kind of pass looking for this dry storage, you can see that there is smoke coming out of his nostrils, but there's also a cigar about this big hanging out this side of his mouth. The ash spilling on the counter space that's supposed to be cooking at. He's making a whip, like a frosting.
Yeah.
His apron coated in butcher mess.
Oh wow.
Oh dear.
real chef.
But it's not like bloody apron. It's like hand slide.
All I can see is
Huge cups,
Dragon.
though.
I can only see Dragon Gordon Ramsay.
He is wearing gloves.
Yeah, yeah.
At the moment
He's wearing a hairnet. He has scales.
at the moment that the chef does actually look at
They
me,
told
I'll
me I
say,
had
"Sorry,
to."
security, and just try to kind of like lose the attention to them. And I want to go and see if I can peek
He looks
into
like
that.
he's about to say something to you, and then you just see like 3 people come up and like slam little papers on this little counter bar area that they seem to be coming to, and just goes over here.
And I'm gonna try to go into the side door.
Okay, just make a stealth check.
Okay.
It's not a very high DC because, like I said, these people are at their wits' end, very distracted, and if you're not in their way, they don't know you even live.
Sorry, I'm just rereading one thing that I want to make sure I keep in mind. Okay, got it. There
This
it
song
is.
confirmed the
So-
order yet. I just want to
Oh, that's a 4.
No, I want it back.
Oh.
You start walking to the dry storage. You get about 3/4 of the way. You can see this doorway. You can confirm, oh, I see a rice bag. Before your lower abdomen impacts something. You feel something else fall back. You hear a clang of a pot and splash of liquid going everywhere. And as you look down, you see a halfling completely covered in like sauce. What the fuck?
Oh, so sorry. Got turned around. I'll be out of your way. Bye-bye.
5 people
Go.
race up and like help them up and like don't help him up. They pick up the pot. We need new creme brulee. We need new creme brulee.
I get the fuck out.
You're going into the dry storage, right?
Oh, am I able to still get
I
in there?
mean, you've just.
Oh, sure. Then yes, I'll do it as if I were panicked and doing that by accident. Like, oh.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like skirt around what's happening, and
Yep.
that gets taken care of. You're now in this space, and it is like probably about as from this wall to that wall. It is like stuffed out. Like there's like a little alleyway, but there's this shelving that goes to the top to bottom, different bags.
Can I find the sugar?
Yeah.
Can I look and see if any of this sugar looks not like the others?
At this point, you do see a space that is missing, like a sugar bag.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only thing out of place there.
So then I want to check the ones that are directly around it and see if I can tell if there's sugar. I'll even give a little taste.
That is.
As you give the next bag near you a taste, it is sweet on the tongue.
I lick the sugar bag.
I have to tell you, so is arsenic.
Really?
I believe so.
I thought it was cyanide.
It's a bit of a touch.
The cyanide tastes
I
like
thought
nuts.
there's like no.
It's a.
I think
Toasted almonds.
I could be wrong about this, but I do think
That's
that
arsenic.
yeah, arsenic is the almonds, but like rat poison, I know is like sweet.
Yes.
Does it taste like sugar though?
In our real world life, people do put rat poison in like people's coffees and stuff because it's like it can blend.
It's an all natural sweetener.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're just tasting that by itself.
Yeah, but
you'd be
that
able to
being
know it's
said,
not sugar, right?
you don't begin foaming at the mouth. It is definitely sugar sweet and not like sweet. But these are, and you're like, okay, if you really want to
literally
go through.
tasting every single one that's nearby. I just
Like an entire pantry. Achievement earned.
It takes a little bit because there's quite a few bags. They're a good like 5 pound or more bag each, if you will. Sack.
It is increased for the next half.
You can confirm now after some time. These are all sugar. These are all sugar.
You not that you did before after the resurrection, but you are not sleeping tonight.
Do I notice anything else?
Make an
on
investigation check.
weird-
This is like a space you're not used to it.
12?
12.
I'm going to use my knowledge from a past life from my people who would look for animals. What the fuck do I roll for that again? I don't know.
Sounded like a D6.
Yeah.
Searching. They're good at searching and finding shit. Roll a d6.
Eliminate all that is impossible and all that is left. It's the truth.
Plus a 5. What was it? 12
It was
plus
12 plus 5.
So 17.
17. Looking around, like, okay, it's not here. Search around. On the back end of this little area, you see a section that is like clearly almost covered it off from the actual dry foods. As you kind of open up this little covered area, you can see there's like some cleaning product. This is a train, again, mind you. So their space is very limited. They have to be very creative about where and how they can store everything they need for fine dining in this little galley car.
Including dead rats. By proxy.
It's not easy, is the answer. Like, most of this galley is just kitchen, and then they just have these little built pockets. So, but to their credit, this section is like closed off from normal food. But as you open it up, you can see like cleaning products, and lo and behold, down on the bottom corner, there are multiple boxes because they have to buy in bulk, like at Costco or something. Rat poison.
Fantasy Costco.
And I was searching for them.
Ye old Costco.
Yes.
You do see like what you can
It's
tell
Costco, but it's
by
done
the
with, like,
printing
the
on the packaging alone. This is in fact poison for rats.
It's
and
Costco.
other rodents.
Is there like a canister of it missing or anything?
There doesn't appear to be. You can see that you can recognize the sack, a sugar sack, has been placed in here.
Oh.
And it's using a little deductive reasoning. It's probably the sugar sack that the person had brought out in the first place. It seems like someone had filled a sugar sack.
Can I look at that so I can compare? Does it look the same as sugar?
If you're comparing them, because you have both at your disposal to see,
Yeah.
no. But if you were just like, got it, go, absolutely. Because this substance, this particular poison is like a white, almost granule substance, like a powder.
Sure.
So upon first glance, if you just like walk by, grab it, go, like everyone seems to be doing, it looks like sugar. But when you really like take a minute, that's why the head chef was like, "This is fucking poison, you moron," because he actually looked at it. Sorry, that was your question. You want to taste it?
Just a tiny little bit.
Make a constitution save.
I have resistance against being poisoned.
Yeah, make it an advantage.
That's good, but oh man.
It was at this moment that
neither of
Aaron
those.
How fucked up is it going to be where everyone's like, "Why isn't Aaron on the back?" Cut to
Nine.
like one train bathroom stall gone for the
Go
night.
after the search of who poisoned her, but
Right.
can never find them. Did it to herself.
in
It's down
this,
next to a bag of poison. No idea how it happened.
I would like to.
I have to tell you that my DC for this was 10, and you are currently poisoned.
Yep. I have advantage, or I have resistance to poison damage also. So I'll be having that.
Well, it's not damage.
Resistance
Oh.
against
Because this is the
Okay.
poison condition,
Got it.
which is disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks while you're poisoned.
Okay.
Would it be fair
Then-
to say that at the end of my shift, I might have tried to put Aaron O into a mind lake?
Would you have needed to? Or are you still currently in it? Didn't you roll
It was a
total
6
hours last time.
Okay, 6 hours last time, and this is still the same day, still the same time-ish frame. I'd say you're probably approaching the end of that link, but this you are still all linked currently, but you're approaching the end.
I'll go. I don't need to tell the group. I'll just cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Oh, thank God
I
you
get,
have.
oh, because you have to tell people things through the link.
Yeah.
Thank God for your shame.
Well, I love that you weren't even going to warn us that you're trying.
Well, no, I would have said something about the fact that there is rat poison somewhere in the kitchen that almost got put into food, and I'm going to look into it. But that probably.
But as you
I looked into it. I looked very deep into it.
as you spend your moments, like the very first moments of that initial like retching, like I need to cast Lesser Restoration on myself, and you kind of like stumble towards the back of further into this area. You do see like pushed behind some like crates, a whole pile of dumped sugar behind these crates.
Oh. Yeah, someone was doing this on purpose. Someone replaced the sugar with rat poison. And I'm telling you, that stuff is strong.
How do you know it?
Oh, you mean
Familiarity.
Dwarven Creamer?
I think that's pretty eventful for your time as you kind of make your way back. If you want to take this
Try
moment
to sneak
before, that's actually you're the last person.
Yep.
Sorry, appropriately it would be Dwarven Sweetener. Sorry.
Fair enough.
You go back to the.
Steerage.
Who's in the steerage? Who's not in the steerage?
Steerage.
And you're not. So yeah, when you guys come back, the young lady that sits across from you, the nice guard, like she was not there, but shortly after you're sitting there, she sits back down. Seems like she had a nice quick bite, and it's now. He just kind of stares out the window with excitement, and you can do that. Identify if you wish.
I will.
Which,
Spend the 10 minutes, do it as a ritual.
at the end of that 10 minutes,
I know, you doing all right. You looked like you was sick as fuck and then cast a healing spell.
No.
hey, not every. This is
Sometimes
everyone's first time on the
curiosity kills the
train.
rat.
Yes. No shit.
This close to an actual spit.
What you figure this out as is a bead of nourishment. It's
Nice.
spongy flavorless. Although this one, I like it better. It has like I said, a fruity floralness to it, almost like a
Rose water.
almost like a Mio. There it is. You got it. But for the people listening, look at your screen and read it.
It's not on the screen.
Oh, it's not on the screen.
The only screen I have is this one down here.
Okay. This spongy, fruit flavored, gelatinous bead dissolves on your tongue and provides as much nourishment as one day of rations.
Ooh.
Very cool.
A physical ball of grape jelly.
Yeah.
Oh no, those what were those gel snacks with the little piece of melon in the center?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
From
That-
the
that shit.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah,
A
like
little
they give it a
jelly
little
with
plastic
a little
cut.
piece of fruit
Yeah.
and a plastic
Tiny
cup.
Those fuckers.
Yep.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
sound of it.
But spongy.
Yeah. Honestly.
About this time at the end of your walks is when the train begins slowing, which they have to do from a ways back, but eventually stops at Rotograd. And people begin to get out.
Rotograd.
You can
If
stay
you can
on.
make
How
it
long
here.
is the stop?
It's going to take about 3 hours just because scheduling things and giving people in Rotograd time to get to board, to get on their trains. And this is a much bigger platform, obviously, than where you just came from. So there's certainly more people here to kind of shuffle off. And you do see some patronages, some people that are patrons on the train leaving with their items and going, and new people coming on.
Are there any like specialties that Rotograd is known for? Something that you might not be able to find as easily elsewhere?
What do I have to come here for?
Right.
That's a really great question. The answer is
Rotograd. If you can make it here, you can make it to most large cities. It's connected to the lightning.
Man,
the answer is yes, there is. The answer is do you know?
that's a fair question.
As a large city connected to the lightning rail, do I know?
I mean,
And does my family make it?
even if you haven't, well, I guess I don't necessarily know how well news spreads here, but even if you haven't been to a place that's that big, assuming it's a big city, you still kind of know what certain big cities are known for.
Like
I
if
think-
I go to Philly, I'm gonna get a cheese.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I think one of the things that truly stands out about Rotograd is one, there is, well, I guess we're just going to go with the thing. The thing is, they are known for their breeding and rearing of, and forgive me while I just quickly make sure I understand the name of this creature.
I'm glad there's more to that statement.
Just for their breeding.
There's one thing that looks right, but it ain't right.
They don't-
Alicia's bringing our tenders.
They don't. Bring it tenders.
Alicia's bringing tenders. And sandwich. Well, the tenders.
See, I
and
saw a picture in a different part of this book, and so I assumed there'd be a stat block in the appropriate part of this book.
Oh no.
But unless
A child.
it's this thing
Yeah.
and there's
Oh,
no picture,
Unfortunately, it's not a good story.
Oh, like a sat.
Yeah, I have a report I need to make. Kind of story.
I believe what I'm looking for here is a clawfoot.
Clawfoot. Okay.
And I believe what a clawfoot looks like. Oh boy. We're at that part of the evening. aren't we? Now I can't. Are you okay? I found the picture earlier, and now I can't find the picture. Ain't it always the way?
I'm currently just imagining Bigfoot on talons.
It looks like a fucking raptor.
Sure. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And there's a lot more of that here. Creatures like that.
Oh.
That is what Rhodograd is known for.
So their skin, is that like the hide or something?
If you wanted like a dino skin shoe, this would be the place for that.
Yeah.
Or a dino
Or
bird.
bat.
If I wanted to eat a prehistoric lizard in some fashion, this is the place.
I
Duly
want to say that
noted.
the default color, like the standard clawfoot, is of a blue variety. But there are others.
You know, I could go for a new pair of pants or
Has a
a
lizard
jacket.
folk, I find a fence to this.
That's fair.
I'm
There
not
it is.
stepping foot
It's
in
like-
nonsense.
Shra sweats in lizard folk.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that is a lovely raptor.
Ooh,
Great.
that is.
I'm currently checking the rules of fine steed.
If that, I think you'd have to wait till
Oh my god, that would be so
Till
funny
later.
right
Your
now.
DM might allow other animals to be soloist.
yeah, but it's more about a challenge reading situation in that case.
I mean, I could get one with no teeth.
Oh.
Name it Gummy.
DT-ify?
The Goofus. It has an intelligence
So-
of 5 or less. Its intelligence becomes 6.
what's you're looking at it, right? What's the CR for the mount?
I'm not sure it states.
It must.
Must.
I mean, it specifies.
No combat. Right?
I meant to offer this earlier if anyone wants it.
It's
a
the
mystery phantom.
mystery phantom.
Oh, I am curious.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Even if you take a sip and throw it away, that's
Because
A-okay with us.
A form that you choose, such as a warhorse, a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff, your DM might allow other animals to be summoned as steeds. But if I could just get like an elk reskinned
Yeah.
as
It's a shape.
or something.
is there a intelligence?
It bumps the intelligence up to 6 if it is below 6.
Because find greater steed in addition to flying says additionally if it has an intelligence of 5 or lower. Okay, that's for that. Never mind. I thought that was a thing about.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
There's this post by someone in a Bay Area theater group on Facebook, and it just says, "Fake chicken trick to
Do we
couch
know
Ross
offhand what a CR or a
77. Would you
saber-tooth
like
has?
to join me for dinner?" And
A
with
saber
this
tooth? Do we
weird
know what
string
CR
of
that
numbers
is
and
offhand?
Offhand, no.
Like,
I just
no
remember
idea.
that we kind of were able to figure that out. The reason I bring that up is because there's another creature here that they also have,
Something that might be more respectable towards a basic fine speed.
right? Which is
I mean, I assume that like
fast teeth as well. Just a little more docile version of something like that. But
yeah,
Those exist.
like given the names that I'm getting here, I feel like it's like CR0, CR quarters, maybe. Like I don't have horses and camels
Because-
in front of me.
because
but-
just to metagame here, a clawfoot has a CR1. But you know,
I mean, I just wouldn't have it like do its attacks.
either way,
I just love the idea.
I'm not saying you're not allowed.
Also, in all fairness, I could just buy one of these broken already.
If I was going to say you weren't allowed, I wouldn't put it in the world. That's all I'm saying about that. And 2, they're not cheap either.
I can dream.
But you asked for what's the main export of this?
Dinosaurs.
That where do they come from? Probably
More dinosaurs.
Probably out west.
Obviously, the dinosaurs come from more dinosaurs.
I'm gonna say no, actually. These are imported from out of continent.
Also, in all fairness, Feinsteed is the conjuration thing, so I would just poof something into existence,
Out there.
which may or may not be,
That's fair too.
but is probably not.
They don't let you do that, huh? Make a creature like in that how you sometimes you can take something and make it. You know, like a warlock
Yeah.
can make their pack
Pokemon.
weapon.
Pokemon trained that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in the case of Feinsteed. It is a spirit that assumes the form of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed.
Yeah.
Number 2.
And with
it's
that-
actually a pretty great story.
And on the note of dinos in
Oh,
the universe, we take a short temper break.
Mm,
Short.
Tandy break.
No, I'm just kidding.
Tandy break.
Do we need a
I think, yeah, these are regulars. Oh, this is just
the tendons? Oh,
That
You
is
got,
the
did you get hot ones?
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, did you get, what sauce did you get?
Nashville?
I got ranch. So, Louis, get. Does that look like ranch in yours?
No.
Okay. This
Oh,
might
I
be
got
ranch.
the namesake sauce.
Okay. I think this probably is ranch.
Yeah, this has an orange sauce inside.
This is some kind of sauce. I don't know.
A sauce of sorts.
Oh, I didn't know.
A sort of
this
sauce.
was
Oh,
tomato.
this is honey mustard. Yeah.
Cool. So I don't know if everyone heard that, but there are at least 2 types of dino creatures that exist as export type things. The clawfoot and the fastive. The clawfoot is a more carnivorous, like war creature. And the fastive is like an almost a bipedal, like faster, docile creature. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Which, if you'd like to see it, it is like this.
Aw.
It's pretty cute.
The issue with that second creature, though, is it is a medium beast. So perhaps not the best.
Louis, you gotta leave it.
Right.
Just nosing people. Maybe not the best choice for a medium rider, but I digress.
I'm just imagining Sancho Panza on the tiny donkey.
Chicken is tasty.
Good chicken.
I'm Sancho, yes, I'm Sancho. I follow my master wherever he goes.
I'm reversing that course. I want them both to be large creatures in this world. If you don't like it, people at home,
Stop listening.
eat my James.
Look out, he's gone Maverick.
So that is a long way to answer the question of what's good in this town. Should we be getting off? No. You can figure that out.
Stop, you are in clear violation of the square cube law.
You probably shouldn't get off since you're supposed to be watching cargo.
If someone wants to. I mean, not everyone has to stay out.
Yeah.
So I don't mind staying.
There's not much in this town that I have interest in personally.
Do I know of any guilds up this way?
There are definitely guilds there. Like specific
Their
one?
pickles are really tasty.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You can
Like,
find
it tastes like freshly pickled.
a guild that you need to. They got all the guilds.
Huh.
At least representation for all the guilds.
It turns out this is Outback, by the way.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Is it?
The bag that it came in.
it's been
Oh.
years since I've been to Outback.
I thought you meant like this is one of those Pascali situations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, fuck.
Yeah. So instead of being Chuck E.
So what
Cheese,
sauce is this really?
Outback sauce?
It could be someone just using Outback's
Oh,
kitchen too.
That's true.
That definitely looks like
Lemon onion sauce.
yeah, that's definitely blooming sauce over there.
Nice.
Lucky.
It's fine. I make my own these days.
Cool. But you're gonna be at the stop for about 3 hours.
Yeah, let's.
I don't have any real need to go. Good to go here.
Don't you love it? Woo! So what all is the city about? Yeah, we're not gonna go.
It's good to know though, like we're here. And I would, if there was something that was more interesting specifically to my character, I would. But dinosaurs, I don't really need to talk about it. Although, if anybody would like, I know they have dinosaur sandwiches. You all seem to enjoy sandwiches.
One more thing that maybe isn't talked about in respectable society, but the name just screams like it should have one. There is an underground fighting pit here.
Anyone want to go test their metal against them?
Mostly,
With everyone?
mostly above the table.
Close.
It's not illegal per se, but it's not like civilized.
No, I'm not interested in the gladiator arts today.
But that's just a thing.
I would like to look at the dinosaur. Specifically so that if and when I ever decide find Steed is a good thing to have on call. The idea of a dinosaur is in my head.
Okay. You, I assume, ask around and
I want to see him. I want
figure
to
out
see
where
him.
to go. What you find is an old, scraggly hobgoblin gentleman. When you finally get to the breeding place, if you will, the prime stables. And as you kind of walk in and kind of take in all the sights and smells, good and bad, he kind of crawls up to you. His teeth yellowed, kind of broken in some places. He's shirtless, save for this like full thick hide apron that seems to be more about protection than anything else. Gloved hands, though you can see like old scars up his arm. An eye that has gone completely cataracted and white. He approaches you. What can I do for you?
What was the name of the more docile one?
The Fastive?
Yeah. So, I'm inventing backstory here now. What's up? Do they still keep the Fastives here?
Yeah, we got Fastives, so they don't move as quick. They move quick. They don't move as quick as the Clawfoots, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I'm catching. I don't have a quick name, a quick way to find the name here. I'm trying to think of the name that one might give to a dinosaur. My mind literally cannot leave blue. Damn it. Oh, god damn it. Oh god, oh god, no, it's keeping it. No.
Sarah.
Littlefoot, Ducky,
Yeah,
Petrie.
yeah.
Barney.
Oh. No one wants to take that one. Just sits there in the corner smiling creepily.
Did I lose it? Looking glazed over.
I'm sorry, my +6 history is struggling a little.
Which reminds me, I should have my character sheet on. My character sheet.
You're looking for a
6 history.
fast thief. We got them in a variety of colors as we do the clawfoots.
All right, I will. I want to go in. I want to see the fast thieves first. But there is one festif in particular I am looking for, and in my heart of hearts, I know it's like about how long do these things live?
A little bit. Reptiles, I'd say a little bit longer than like a horse's life, probably like 1.5 times a horse's life.
And just for reference,
Just for the audience at home.
not that I'm ignorant or anything.
Yeah, I mean, of course I know how long a horse lives. A horse lives approximately like 25 to 30 years, so, you know, a dinosaur, or
About 40, 45.
is gonna. Yes. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And for shits and giggles, how old am I? God damn it.
That I cannot answer for you.
That must be on my
My main sheet.
Down here,
I don't think you have access to it.
not as a player, but I can load this game as a DM.
Is it going to make anything untoward pop up?
It shouldn't right now.
Bold statement.
It does. We'll time skip.
Indeed.
I'm looking.
Don't look
I'm
at it.
looking.
No, it's fine. Just gonna do that real quick.
Well, at any rate, I assume that it is unlikely for Flint to be seeing the one in particular. But
So
one of the better memories that Flint still has
September 16th.
of his family is the time that they came down here to look at the dinosaurs. They were here on actual business, but yeah, 120. Yeah, no,
160.
that's my weight.
Oh, it is.
damn, doors are long.
Yeah, I'm not even middle aged yet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. So there's like little chance that the dinosaur in particular I'm looking for is here, but it's memories of a more innocent time before I realized what the Westals were about.
Do you describe that creature?
This one in particular would have had yellow orangish scales. Just the most innocent dinosaur face that you can imagine on a dinosaur without going Barney, without crossing the uncanny
That's
valley.
not an innocent face.
You've seen things.
Kind of takes in what you said, and I said we do have many colors. I mean, they got red, yellow, green, brown, scarlet, black, ochre, peach, ruby, olive, violet, fawn. I mean, we got lilac, gold, chocolate, mauve, green, crimson, silver, rose, azure, lemon, russet, gray, purple, white, pink, and orange, and blue. Blue's most popular. Yellow with orangish scales, you said?
One kill.
You know, I don't.
I suppose the point is I hate sauerkraut.
He's scared of the fireworks, probably. Probably trying to hide them.
You said about how long ago?
Hell had to be. Oh, hell, 80 years ago. Gotta be. A long
A
time.
little bit before my time, but I do kind of remember it in our old age. We don't have her anymore, sadly, but we do have some descendants. We gotta figure out if they're the yellow, the orange, the gold, or shit. And there's a certain lack could be lemon. We need a better system.
Well, no need to trouble yourself over the specifics. It was a touch of nostalgia.
You can look at them if you want.
And I do for a while.
And you do see, like, they're different. And it's probably been a generation in between, but there are, like, younger rideable versions. Seems to be about 2 running around this little area that they kept in. Any other points of order while Flint thinks back on a friendlier time?
For shits and grins, how much does it cost for one and then the other?
For one day, like a single or a pair?
Um,
Oh, for the
yeah,
creatures.
yeah.
Gotcha. For the different.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I just want to look at your number.
Sheriff, they're saying that there's just an hour left.
Let's see more.
These deals are going quick. Oh, you mean
We should probably check in on that Warforged and Dagger.
Well, the fast thieves.
Oh, you mean Dagger and James?
Dagger and James. Dagger and James.
Fast thieves run about 300 a head, depending on his pedigree. Clawfoots, they're a whole other animal. They're around the 5 to 6, depending on who's selling them.
100?
Yeah.
That is a drop in the bucket that I might throw down on the other in the other direction. Where's my fucking gold? There's my fucking
I
gold.
can't wait for you to keep a new clawfoot in a steerage with cattle. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that.
Can't be
And
any
then
worse than
down
I did of an owlbear.
Yeah. Imagine our group
How long
rolling
does
into
it
any
take for
town.
owlbears to reach
As the
full
clawfoot and
maturity?
the owlbear awkwardly stare each other down at
Imagine
opposite
a
ends
couple
of the
years,
cage.
Keep each other in check.
right?
What was that?
I asked how long does it take for an owlbear to reach full maturity?
And you know, untouched by magic, I assume a couple of years, like anything else.
Mhm.
Not anything else.
Many things. Most mortals.
I'm having trouble coming up with answers that are less than that.
Humans?
I think humans take quite a few years to come to maturity.
Right.
Okay, so I've meant at least a couple of years,
Oh.
if not
Okay.
decades. But like,
I thought you meant around.
I know there are
a couple
animals,
years'
like
time.
a cat goes from kitten to grown cat
In months.
in months, sure. But a bear, did we already have this discussion? Like doing like bear versus owl and then coming with a calculation? I bet we could look it up again if I did.
I'm sure that we don't even need to do that. I'm sure we can look up owlbear stats and get
Yeah.
a full, like, how to take care of an owlbear, what their diet is, how exactly long, how big their poops are, and what they look like. I'm sure some nerd out there.
In 3.5, you definitely get all of that.
Exactly.
Okay, so you find out, hey, these things are not quite as expensive as I thought it could be on the right day, after the right job. But they are there.
We're coming back on this train too? Or I forget.
Unless something
We're
happens.
doing a round trip. Okay.
Unless something happens.
And we get paid.
I'm guessing we get back.
You already got paid part of it, didn't you? No?
I don't think so.
I don't recall in advance.
We've got time to figure
Would
it
have been
out.
really awkward if we had been in the other world for any longer than we were.
That's true.
I have to get on another train that's twice as fast as this train so that we can get on the train. Or we have to roll a critical.
And you didn't
deception.
find Ursula wasn't literally birthed when you found her. So
Horse.
Kill the mother.
Yeah, take the baby, kill the mom.
Slice.
Yikes.
The hockey spoiler right there.
That hot D.
God, that last episode. You guys were
We have,
okay.
no, I think we're still on episode 3.
Something like that.
It's a doozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been enjoying it that much.
this looked like someone was going to give me an answer and they didn't.
Oh,
Jerk.
I know.
But if normal bears are considered to be adults around 6, and this creature was still with its mother when you found it, and bear cubs usually leave their mother around 2.5. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that Ursula is currently in like the 2 mark, and that an owlbear's aging and lifespan is going to probably be similar in nature to a bear
So not
thing. You got some time before she would be considered a full-blown adult owlbear, which I think it sucks for the nature of D&D in some ways of being like, but there could be time skips, there could be anything that happens that would make up time like that. if
Well,
you-
and we discovered time works differently in the other lane or whatever we're going to, right?
Yeah. I think we'll have her with us. And then if it
The
does-
process of
Right,
eat
so
that
us-
bear
Yeah, okay.
feels
Put her
questionable.
in for a minute. Let it close. Another minute pass and then open it back up.
Just keep flipping coins until
Yeah.
it works.
And she'll have all that time with
But-
us.
You guys,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
That's
that's
that.
so sad.
Yeah.
but you guys did not
I'm not
age.
As Ursula comes back
I'm not
incredibly
serious.
buff with an eye patch.
You guys did not age the time that you were gone
I've come from the
any more than
future
the
to
time that you were literally gone.
I come from the future to avert the past.
The fuck are you on about? Why do you talk now?
Time advanced on you.
I met a knight called James.
What cheerleader do we need to save?
Okay.
Say, reference to a show nobody remembers.
Untrue. Even if I didn't watch it.
That's just not
It's a show nobody talks about.
What's the show?
Closer.
Heroes.
Well, okay, I started watching it. Got like 2
Yeah.
episodes in or something.
What's your villainous power? I just kill people with my mind.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much it.
I liked it.
If no one wants to go, I'm not saying you need to. If no one else wants to go into this town, this train is going to leave, and people are going to be bedding down. If they, and why? When I say bedding down, if they are in the sleeping car, they splurge that way. They're in the sleeping car. If they're just in the normal, they're probably like leaned up, like on bar, essentially sleeping. The other folk, who knows what they're doing? They're behind closed doors.
People know where we are now.
What?
Oh, you mentioned Bart.
Oh, we've put ourselves on blast too much to
Yeah.
actually even matter at this stage. Also, Outback, not bad chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, pretty good.
And fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with the whole meal.
Yep, I would order from this
And
again.
I'm not kidding. Those pickles are really good.
That's so random.
Surprisingly fair.
I feel like they make
Am I
that
supposed
there.
to get
It's
some
not
of that
like
Are you already ate it?
You already had a meal over there.
I'm
And,
good. If you're good,
and
I'm
apparently I am just eating 10 fucking chicken tenders today.
I'm solid.
Wait, what happened?
He said, how come I can only
I did
eat
it- I-
10 tenders?
I wanted less. 10 were in front of me.
Right.
They are not anymore.
They're also not that big.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also this.
And I have,
Not the point.
and I had said, if you order 10, I can eat some of them because you didn't want 10 tenders.
I didn't want 10 tenders. I have
You're right.
10 tenders. I no longer.
The train is gonna get them moving.
Yep.
Some new faces, though. The young lady that's sitting next to y'all still there.
Is the loud person screaming of the things
At
still
the
there?
book.
Well, yeah, where's
They-
book
they-
guy and where's belligerent unarmed guy?
I know we don't remember because of the nature of life. That screamer, he left at the first stop. Remember
Oh my god.
the veteran?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think he got off there,
Well,
didn't he? No, am I misremembering?
At the place where we last session when we each took a spot while we were doing the brief stop.
Oh,
that's
you're right, he
when
was
I
still on.
Outside.
No, then he's still on. The veteran got off at Rotograd.
I mean, that doesn't mean he's still on now, but I'm just saying he was on past the first stop.
I need someone to massage my ass.
No, but that's I miss.
I was looking for
But don't poke it.
I was looking for bludgeoning damage.
I miss. Oh boy, I misunderstood.
Pound it. Pound my ass.
Oh wow.
It was there.
Yeah, it was.
Anyone else want the rest of my guys? Do
Nothing.
you want them to?
He got out at Rotograd. The guy reading the book is actually still on currently, so that's fine. So is the young lady in front of you. There are a cycle of new faces, of indiscriminate faces that come on here.
They give a lot of sauce.
Mm-hmm.
10 strokes.
No.
But this is kind of the last bulk of the day before the new day.
Okay.
It's a new day.
Yes, it is.
I did not know enough jokes, but I wanted to make one.
Oh. Yeah. I know that smell.
I don't. Good luck.
You all need to rest as well. This is another
Yes. Yes.
It kind of tastes like orange cream soda. You might really like this.
I don't think so. I didn't get that at all.
thing. I do.
Interesting.
Are they
I
all the
shouldn't have
same,
said
or
it
is it like the Dum Dum Mystery Cup?
Oh,
where,
it could be
they're-
like the Dum
each
Dum
one is a different one.
Yeah.
This just has a cream soda taste.
Orange cream soda, not cream soda. But what is that flavor? That's not the right term. Wasn't it?
Creamsicle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's principle.
Do you want it?
Why you don't?
Oh, I'm not a big orange cream fan.
You can also close it up and take it with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It has a cap. You put it back in the fridge.
Close it up for now. I'll probably get to it. Having to talk. Well,
So that
Okay.
Just make sure you take it with you and
Yeah.
have your drinks.
yeah, I was gonna say, just make sure Brian knows so he doesn't rummage in,
Yeah.
accidentally be like, I'm drinking this, and then find out I've been drinking it.
I think
Uh,
you hear his reaction.
Yeah.
Huh? I think you hear his reaction. What he's drinking.
Cool. I'm just trying to figure out how to proceed these days so it's not boring as fuck.
We're having a good time on the train.
But you need to rest.
Yes.
So, like, I guess one more watch before you rest. That's fine. I know this has been a series of watch after watch after watch after watch, but it's sort of the nature of the beast.
Yes, absolutely. I'm the only one at the table currently, so I will roll a die. D100, right?
Yeah, let's do the
I'm gonna reach over it.
That ends up being a 79.
Oh, maybe I won't.
Almost.
79. 79.
This only requires, this is like nighttime watch, so I only really need the two that usually do nighttime watch. The other two
Oh, okay.
do take your long rest.
Take my shield.
I can stay in the steerage if you'd like to go to with them during nighttime rest.
I rolled 85.
So with Tower in the steerage, there's a withered, old individual. Looks to be. His skin looks like almost like cracked badland, if you will. And he's wearing like brown. They almost look dirty robes, and everywhere he walks, there seems to almost be like a trail of dust behind him. But he's walking up and down the steerage, kind of barking into the ether to anyone who can hear. The end is nigh, according to the dragons. The end is nigh.
Does it seem to be causing a? I mean, it's nighttime.
I mean, there's a lot of elves that are back here again, and they're in the seating position. They're all kind of trying to, and then that's kind of like, what? And like a few people, like, you hear a couple from the cattle that's being stirred, and a few people peeking from where they've been hiding out all this time. Like, the hell?
Tower will go ahead and approach and say, "Sir, I understand that you have a message to deliver. However, if you look around you, you will see that there are a lot of creatures trying to rest right now, and it would be preferable if we did not disturb them. And it is my job to be sure that they are not disturbed."
Let's have a persuasion check for the evangelical.
Yep, that's a plus one.
Everybody knows that was debunked 20 years ago. The dragons simply didn't have a reason for the calendar to go that long.
18.
He kind of looks around. And at this distance, your knowledge of the world, just make a nature check for me.
Sure.
Just
Yeah, no problem. That's an 18 in the roll. I don't know but
it's good enough. You can tell right off now that they're close, that they are not just a dirty person. They seem to be like an earth genasi. And they kind of like go to fight it, but kind of look around and you're right. Tomorrow! The end is nigh tomorrow!
that being said, I am curious about the end. If you would like to have a quiet conversation while I can keep an eye out.
Tomorrow!
Hi, Carmen. Could you grab my dice? They're on the counter right there next to the Keurig. I think. To defense. Thank you.
The end will come down tomorrow.
I guess we'll just go back. Oh, no, not you. You. It's
85.
85. You already told me that.
Not you.
I got caught up in the evangelical bullshit. 85.
Oh, I'm going to cast guidance on myself before I go. Just in case.
Sure. And you're going into not the steerage area, is that correct?
Right, I'm
Upper
going up
area?
towards where they are.
Standard cars.
Yeah, standard.
Right, and as you kind of pass that threshold,
And of course, I'm watching as I'm going through, like as if I were going on a troll.
mhm,
That's okay.
as you kind of look around and go back into the standard car, the lady that usually sits across from these two kind of you almost collide with her because not because you're not looking where you're going, she's not looking where she's going. and she kind of able to kind of like make herself known. So she stops right in front of you and like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. There's a few gentlemen in the next car, and they're burning something."
Oh,
Don't
I'll
sound
go
very gentle.
check that out.
I don't want to cause no trouble. I just thought I'd go over to the dining car for a while and let them do what they do and do what I do.
See what they were burning as I'm
Is it
starting
bush?
to walk.
Is it put sugar in the rat boys? Wait, strap that.
Sorry.
Did you see what they were burning?
I don't
No?
like
Okay.
to pry.
Thank you so much for, seeing something and saying something.
What's wrong?
No, that's not
No,
good.
Yeah, like literally reporting to a security officer, like, I don't like to try. It's just,
But I know this is
I
gonna
don't
be
want to
right.
make you do your job, but
There's also the accent.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's all good.
it all worked together. It's good stuff.
And she makes
I've
her way.
always relied on the kindness of police officers.
Right.
And she exits the scene
I
towards
continued
them.
to where she was pointing me on.
Got it. And you can see like a little it's like a thin trail of something that is kind of there's like I've already kind of established with this lady and them. These seats are like facing each other in groups, like just like an indiscriminate acronym train station in a large city area. There's 4-seaters that go along, and from within the center of one, you do see this thin trail of fine smoke that is just kind of going up from there.
I want to see if I can tell what they're doing before I announce myself. And in fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and cast invisibility on myself so I can just sneak up on them.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, I want to go see what
So you're
they're
good.
doing.
You kind of just make a stealth check for me, please.
So I have
Which you
advantage because
probably
of
do.
invisibility.
Being invisible, I think invisibility gives you advantage on
That's
stealth
right.
checks, but it's just for
Pretty
the
sure.
sake of
That's
who's way cocked is in the face.
okay. That would be a 12.
Well, okay. There's not a lot of traffic at this time. Most people are like sitting in their seats asleep, or they've gone up to the bathroom. It's like
Yeah, I
Pretty
like
good.
ducked into a little alcove or something if I could to
sure.
cast
There's,
that on
I mean, when you go between cars, there's a little box space
That's
that
what
is
I did.
literally meant like if you're like you can get around each other, and even as you come in, there's plenty of space to get out of the way of somebody. But I'm just saying, like higher times in the day, you're not bumping into people right now. It's pretty clear of an aisle. You kind of make your way. It's down a few rows from where the entrance was. It's probably one row before where your friends usually sit. So this is whatever they're doing.
Wait, this is in the standard car? I thought this was in the next car down. I guess the next car down would be the galley. So never.
I thought
Sorry.
you said you're going to the standard car.
Yeah, where she pointed me.
Which she was leaving the standard car, you were entering the standard car.
Got it. Okay.
That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah, I
And
just think
I guess you two are
I got it twisted.
sleeping there, so you can decide if this would bug you. There's as you enter this space, there's probably a good area that is kind of filled with this like spice, sagey kind of smell, like someone's burning some kind of incense.
Sure.
And as you come around the corner, there are 4 people. They're all in like these bluish purple. It's like kind of a cascading color of purple and blue robes. And they're all kind of just each kind of sitting crisscross applesauce style in their seats, facing each other with a little pot full of something that is burning. And they're all just kind of. They all have like paler skin and lighter colored hair, much like the individual that Shaw had mentioned was saying, "Hello, fellow humans."
Can I try to tell what it is they're doing specifically? Like, I'm assuming they're doing some kind of prayer or meditation, or possibly spell casting. I want to see.
I assume you mentioned hello, fellow humans.
I hope so. I hope so.
If that person could be pointed out, I'd like to blow a charge off of my.
They're back in the
Steerage.
steerage, but
We'll
they
talk
all
about
look similar. Yeah, we'll do that. But so that's what, as you come around, and you don't need to roll to see like it. It's something of the nature of what we just said. Like they're meditating. Maybe they could be asleep.
Are they saying anything?
No. There's just a steady breath, and they're burning
breathing in
incense.
unison. Or
Yes. Yes, they are.
steady breath, not steady breathing. Nice. That is interesting. Can I cast detect magic and see if I notice magic stuff around them? If they're letting off an
They
aura,
really will just let anybody on the lightning.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
You mind ascending to a higher plane somewhere? I'm not presently trying to maintain my presence on this one.
also, I'm guessing this is a different day than when I cast Lesser Restoration on myself, right? Just for the sake of spell slots. I'm wondering.
Right in front of the train. So the train.
Sorry.
Interesting.
I imagine about 7.5 feet worth of train goes into another plane, and however much above that careens until physics decides to take its turn.
Wait, what's the
I
problem?
said, what happens if you put one of those coins and drop it in front of the moving train?
It wouldn't fit in them because it's only like
Oh,
Right.
right.
like a door frame.
Okay.
almost.
But yeah,
Assuming it was.
Yeah,
but like
depending
the force of
upon
the motion, like it's already in. Wouldn't that make part of it go through and then the rest like a cookie cutter almost? Like,
it really does depend upon like the cutting edge width of a portal.
And can it cut
that seems like it'd be
Or
extremely
would it-
sharp.
Like-
Would it just impact it or something?
Well,
Something that large going through something of that size doesn't act like a monomolecular blade cutting through this thing.
Imagine
Or
it's
how
Sorry,
much-
I'm totally derailing this.
Oh!
No, but literally, like the
Let's
coin lands on the rail,
Yeah.
right?
Grabs
Lands on one of the rails.
Oh.
grabs local fake coin. Let's find
Yeah,
out.
like get a chunk of it, but then
As it like falls and turns and cuts. And, yeah.
Could you even get the proper flip on it, given the amount of wind drag?
Right,
Going
and
on.
how where
Like if you were on the tip of the train and you flick
you
it forward as hard as you
You can't be on the train to do it. You have to be waiting for the train.
Yeah,
to come
for sure.
at you.
can. That's also an option. But if we
Imagine
out on
needed
the
an
other
emergency
go around
detour
and jump
into
by.
the unspeakable swamp,
So this is what you're trying?
No.
science.
That's when the heroes of the story become the villain.
Has science gone?
That's
too
Mr. Glass
far?
all the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
This one weird trick discovered by
so
little
I'm
Darwin
making a whole
lawbreaker.
adventuring party to stop you.
Yeah.
That's not the worst
Yeah,
idea for a campaign.
Sounds like a good fun.
That being said, they are breathing unison.
So-
You asked me something that I was
Detect
looking at.
magic. I
Detect
was
magic.
saying detect
Oh,
magic
I was
on
looking
that.
to see if it was magical. I don't think that this is magical.
But what they're doing. Like, I'm looking at them, and do they have an aura to them? Which I would then tell the school.
Remind me about it. Is it just like does Flint glow with magic when you use detect magic, or
duration.
just his items?
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn at School of Magic, if any.
That bears magic, but
Yeah.
meaning like a spellcaster glows because
Yeah,
they can cast spells.
I guess so.
I would assume
Or that
it
they have
is
a spell
somebody
in
maintaining
action.
concentration or something,
On a
or who
spell.
has mage armor going.
That's like if they have an
Or an
enchantment.
effect.
That's what I thought. I still don't think that classifies here.
Oh,
Okay.
look, I can see that
to know.
intangible force barrier.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening.
Got it.
Because there would be a lot of people going.
Like, I would
Yeah.
assume if you are astral projecting, there
But
might be
currently
a
casting,
vision of.
I think.
Oh,
Well,
correct.
There
right.
might be like
Evil
that hint of
maintaining
magic,
power for concentration.
or you might be able to see the string for the astral project.
Sure.
But if that's not
So-
what's going on here, then
So I don't think so. Based on what I've read about what I'm having these people do, I don't think that you're discerning any magic about it.
Do we have any kind of mind link going on right now?
We're
Chad's
asleep.
asleep.
Yeah, I guess not.
The switchboard is down.
It would,
Well,
at this-
technically, I'm in this cart too, so
I mean, like,
I-
Sure.
it's like, I've slept through far worse.
It doesn't smell necessarily unpleasant.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think it would make me.
If you think
That's
about
the
incense, there are incense that is too much. You don't like it. Someone else does. It's that kind of thing. This person that Erno ran into decided to complain about it, and not unrightfully so. It was kind of rude to burn incense in the middle of a fucking train.
I'm just gonna hang out in this car for a while and see if something happens at the end of this, or if they just suddenly all stop at the same time, or one of them goes around and like lets them know it's time, or what.
Sure, you can be watching them. You said you wanted to see about the person in the steerage because you can spend moments and moments, and 5 minutes goes by, and the most unsettling thing you might see is the swelling, the unison swelling of breath
Mm-hmm.
among these four.
Watching them.
Oh, God damn it. Don't worry about me. I just thought about a thing related to a thing. If I'm right later, I will talk about it.
Okay.
Uh,
I am right. I will talk.
I'm curious to find out if he's right too, because I'm not following what it could be. Which is sad, because then I could turn around and make it right if I understood, right?
Look, if I was right about this, the power balance on this motherfucking train is horrifying.
Interesting.
But you wanted to try and examine that person?
Yeah, as long as I'm. Yeah, I want to do a round with the gem active, but specifically, I want to find Steve Buscemi in a backwards cap and skateboard.
That's who I'm looking at. The fellow humans, right?
Yeah.
Well, not that particular person, but people that look like that person. That's who.
Oh.
Hello.
In what way do they
Hello,
look like that
fellow
person? Do they have
teenagers.
the same physical features, or they're wearing the same clothes?
Is it in fact a mirror image?
Similar physical features.
It's
like
not
they could be
magic, so
family.
it's not mirroring.
Like family.
It's not necessarily family, but of the same ilk.
Okay.
Is
Are
what
they
I would
wearing
say.
similar clothes also? Or, like, culty kind of
Yeah,
vibes?
how cult is it? On a scale of cult to cult, how cult is it?
Different in the way that
Or family
polygamous
going to
wives
Disneyland
are
that
wearing
wears
different
the same
dresses?
shirts.
They don't-
These are my soulmates.
Upon first glance, the two different groups, meaning the single and the quad, they don't seem to be connected, like, outright.
Sure.
Like, that person had, like, the usual expected dress of a normal person. But these
Of a
four,
regular human.
That's just one of the average clothing.
Average. Okay, but
Average
these
clothing.
others do feel more connected. At the very least, due to the fact that they are sitting together.
Do they look human?
Yeah.
We never made Sean watch the room.
Nope.
Now I'm like, should we?
Yes, the answer is always yes.
Really appreciate it. Yeah. I just have the desk in the back of my mind constantly. It's so sad. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's a
That's
nice,
not fair
he's a
to
cool,
him.
nice guy. But I just can't forget it. I know. Trust me, I've had him. Yeah, no. It's just there.
Look, sometimes you just accidentally make a meme.
Yeah.
Then that's
It's not in the same way that I think on Dolphin. What's his name?
Dan.
He's not even Dolphin Boy anymore. It's just Dolphin.
It's not the same. So don't think it is.
Dolphin,
It's not the same way I recall on them. Like it's way more positive. But I'm just like, you silly boy. Yeah.
Although, as far as I can tell, he doesn't really like silliness that much.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, like, will he like the room?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, the answer is always yes.
Yeah,
Did you
I
know
can see
that
being
chocolate
what's the point?
is
You know?
the language of love? An aphrodisiac.
I
The
hope-
word you're
I
looking
hope
for is
John
an
doesn't listen to these
aphrodisiac. Take
recordings.
another
I'm
take.
sure he does.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
That
What every
analyzes
parent with
us.
a newborn does.
Yeah.
Right.
I was kind of trying to look for something that would help me a little more with this description, but yeah, they look pretty humans.
Okay.
Aberration.
Is it suspicious how average they are?
And I already told
Were
you.
you born neutral?
I already told you your thing, right? Or did we never talk about it?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, and if you want to use that device to see, like, are they?
How do you
They look
see
the same.
me?
They look the same.
The fuck are you doing? And the quartet also just bunching normal ass not turning into something else while I look at it. Humans. Assuming humans.
That is true.
A bold assumption in the campaign, but
Don't think there's anything outright.
People were sliding sentences and breathing together.
Mhm.
What's
Good
the
idea.
problem?
Yeah.
would you care to join me
They're
in breathing?
invisible staring.
Would you care to
at
join
them.
me in breathing, fellow human?
Like,
None of you are fellow humans.
I don't see why we're not breathing together. That's what I'm saying. I don't-
We share a mind link. How are we not gelling?
Um,
I'm feeling like a felon. Want some melon?
I cannot allow you to gel to such a. I cannot allow you to gel to such an illegal degree.
Oh.
There's a fine for this level of chill.
I'm going to amend something I said. When you look at the four,
What?
you see something like this.
Thank God it's like.
Thank
Oh.
God it's like this.
Oh no! Also no. Oh. Okay. So it's not what I thought. It is not what I thought. So meta-wise, I thought this was the moment where we were going to introduce Haman to. So I
Magic breathing.
which isn't technically magic because it's just
Oh my
unlocking the
okay.
power.
Okay.
No,
No.
it's. I got some good news.
I didn't think that far.
Missed opportunity.
Freestyle world building ideas.
But I don't know. I feel like what you get might be more interesting.
Oh, you are not wrong. Oh, you are not wrong.
There's nothing hostile about what you're seeing.
And what about fellow humans?
No, that's where you're seeing.
Oh, that's where I'm saying
It's
not
not-
the four dudes. Just hello.
Hello, fellow humans. Not them.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Nothing else. Hello, fellow humans is ironically a fellow.
So you're not seeing the interesting part of that image, instead of, you're seeing those in addition to it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And just make a nice nature check for me. I want to find out if you know what it could be.
Funny that you should mention literally any intelligence-based
history.
skill.
Maybe history.
Ooh, history is a different case, though. That just means I'm going to roll low. Actually, 22.
Nice.
22 history.
You have
How much context does my freak out have?
seeing that image, and 4 of them no less. It kind of gives you this like hair on the back of the neck tingle as you remember hearing somewhere in your life as a lawman the people referred to as Kalish Tar, right? Is that the right word? And like being connected to dreams, and sometimes hearing about dream creatures, and you get it's just A, B, C, D, it all starts lining up, and you get the sense that maybe that's what these people are.
They got some interesting dream friends. Having a little slumber party here.
What are you?
I believe I see this and I'm transfixed for some short but meaningful period of time. Do I get looks back?
After a time, yes.
I try
Are
to.
we
I
both
try to.
staring at these people at the same time, but only I know it?
You're looking a little lower than I am. I'm. If
You're looking. If you catch Flint, who's now like woken up, or whatever, or been woken up to try and do this, he's staring like you're the 4. He's looking up here.
Oh.
I can't unsee this.
Well, you can. You
I
just
mean,
have to
I
get
could literally unsee
rid of
this.
take the lens down, but
I'm tempted to go over and
and
try
that
to
lens only
run
lasts a
through
certain
the
amount of time,
space.
right?
Like 10 minutes it's 10 minutes at pop. So
I mean, if you want to watch for the full 10, I mean, they'll eventually just, that image will just fade from your vision.
and they're just gonna fuck off afterwards,
Hmm.
or maybe just disappear.
Well, your device will fade off.
Yeah,
And so too will what you see
right.
with the lens.
Right. Is there anything I know about the things that I'm seeing? Or is it just the knowledge of the Kalashtar encountering these kinds of things?
I think that. Yeah, I think it's that.
I have no context, and they aren't bothering anyone yet. And I haven't been torn to shreds.
And the last image you get before possibly going back to sleep is just all eyes on you. It's just not the ones that are closed. The one before just.
Bat. I don't mean to alarm you. There's some very large and interesting bugs somewhere on this train, and I do not think that they are tangible. But these guys have some interesting dreams.
Dream?
They're communing with things. It ain't bad. It ain't bad yet. I'd rather not look at them again. Never know.
Which you just
Don't fuck.
which you can't even see her now.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
invisible.
Oh, right.
She's invisible.
Actually, I had the.
Oh, I see you. I know.
It's like, never know. Don't fuck with these guys. Wait.
I was just imagining the world where Arano is like,
I'm sorry, Jesus, I'm going. Sorry, sweet second, I'm going to get ate tonight.
oh, that's crazy. universe.
There's some excellent slapstick in a slightly adjacent timeline.
So yeah, I guess you would know that Arano was there.
Yeah, I
So
guess in that
Invisible
situation, I
person
will go
don't know
over.
is it-
Since I've been made, I'll go over and I'll listen into what she told Shra so that I know what's going on
I
too.
mean, you've only been made by me.
Yeah, I know, but maybe that's enough. Like, I'm not completely.
It is not unheard of for people to talk to themselves on this train. Some random dwarf looks like he's having an episode.
But I will go over and tug on Shra's shirt just in a way to try to spook you.
Wait, you said
That's
Arano?
Arano. That's Arano. Arano was invisible, apparently.
Can't be too loud. I
So-
will get caught.
Arano was invisible. Is that a neutral? I don't remember this.
I just never really found much need for it. But I got nervous. So I wanted to have a little bit of extra cover to watch these people from afar.
So we could have seen you through the portal invisible. You could have gone
You-
story.
You know, probably, but this spell was deep in my repertoire and hadn't really realized I could do it yet. So,
So to be fair, I've had a
But now
prepared
no.
spell or two. I haven't been.
Are you seated?
No, I
Approximately?
assume there's.
You know
I'm
how
assuming
to
there's
get
people in
bonus
the seats next to us. I'm just kind of like
Hmm?
at the. I'm assuming there were people in the seats across from them.
The person that would sit across from them, and there's not another ticket holder there, is the person
the
that
lady who
has
passed
to.
by.
So they're currently alone
Then yes,
on one
I am
side.
sitting there.
Partway through this
But I'm still,
conversation,
like,
you see that lady come into
And then
the
I'll-
lane, and she begins to sit right where you are.
And I try to slip out.
Good evening, ma'am.
And,
Sorry, just good evening.
All right, make a dexterity check, please.
Okay.
I would say it could be sleight of hand. If you just try to
Actually, hold on. Okay. No, that doesn't work. Oops. Close that. Dex.
This is short though.
Sorry. Just doing all kinds of shit. A dex save? Or
No.
dex check?
Just like a
Oh, it's the same
dexterity
anyway.
check or sleight of hand or
20. Oh, sleight of hand? I'll do. Well, then that would be 23.
she just pops into her seat like nothing happened. And
I'm
from
sorry, that would
Shaw's
have been 28.
Oh, dang.
Sorry.
Hell, even I didn't see that.
and from Shaw's perspective, I don't know.
I would-
You'd know that Arano was sitting there, and then like this young lady, sit down in front, in where they were, and just
As I'm walking by, I'll start heading back. I'll go, that was a close one. See you
I
later.
think it's time to put the gem down. It's time to put the gem away for the night.
How nice.
You have a nice walk.
Are the people still sitting there just breathing?
oh yeah, if you're going back that way.
All right, I'll go back to the
Do
steerage.
you have a specific issue with this folk here?
Just a smell.
Oh, we can crack the window there if you want.
These windows don't work. Sorry.
They don't. It's they're not that kind of window. This train is. If you were to open
Well,
a
then I
window in
wouldn't
this train,
say it.
you, yeah,
Excuse me. Can I see through the window?
Yes.
The window functions.
You cannot open. These windows are not the open kind. You're just seeing when you look out.
Well, sorry.
It's fine.
I don't think there's anything like rules. It's not. I don't know, but they're not working anymore.
Except for you.
Phrase.
Yeah, the auto editing thing is definitely not going to work with all the whispers tonight.
Yeah.
That's going to be uncut. It's not a big deal. It makes it easier.
Yep, I go back to the steerage.
It's fine. That's what I was saying.
If you're here, we're here, they're here, we're all here. We're all fine. As they say, everyone's here.
But you are able to long rest, though some may have a little more trouble than others. Not enough.
More than I had before.
Not enough to mechanically hurt you, but you know what is seen cannot be unseen.
My whiskey flask is slightly lower than it was before.
In that case, you might sleep better.
I'm trying.
But a new day will greet you.
It's a new day.
Yes,
Breakfast trolleys will be starting to go
beautiful day.
through the different areas. Whereas in the first class, it is like a full smorgasbord of eggs, bacon, pancakes. Next one, pastries, quick bites. Next one, zilch. You see people pulling out their own rations.
I pulled out 5 gold pieces. Fuck it. I'm going to get a nice meal. I deserve it after spending the night with whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
What are they doing in the morning?
Oh, yeah, good question.
They are just sitting and chatting. Like normal.
I'm going to get breakfast and then I want to have a conversation with these guys.
Okay. I mean, it's more of a you approach them situation since they are like just back and forth, just discussing things.
But I wasn't sure if that was an invitation for other people to
Oh,
say something.
Oh, it could be. Other people want to say something.
Anybody else got morning?
What's going on now?
I figure we should check into the cargo holds again.
Yep.
Make sure everything's good. But
These are normal rounds.
check on the Warforged. Never did see him yesterday.
That's
Dagger
true.
yesterday.
Kind of went missing.
I'll find Dagger and James. But yeah, go get some breakfast, Sheriff.
Ooh, yep. That stop is coming up in the next hour. And some people are rifling around getting things ready to go. If you're specifically looking for that individual, you'd find them.
Dagger.
Yeah, you'd find Dagger and James by proxy.
Right, but do we see James?
And now it's like a 90s wine cooler situation where it's Dagger and James. Bartles and James.
But you will find them in the
Or they're
steerage.
on a space themed team.
They're in the steerage. They're near the doors that
Definitely
slide
buddy
open
cop.
for cattle.
Buddy
And
cops.
they are back in conversation again. And if someone's actually looking for them and whatever, they basically hear in the passing of like, I've told you before, I could eat eggs, but what is the point?
I want to watch.
I want to watch you eat.
Who's interacting with him this time?
I love
Who's on the watch?
I die vicariously.
Oh,
If I saw that, I would.
I mean, you're expecting Dagger to lock up a sentient being in a box?
I thought sentient
24/7?
being can't help itself.
Sentient beings an asshole.
I mean, just in the proximity of other people who might harm you.
You lock a lot of sentient beings who will harm folk.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Sometimes, yeah, if you poke too much.
Can you poke for 1d4?
Yeah.
I sure as hell try. What would you like to say to these
I need to
people?
roll 5d10 first.
Wait, what's 5d10 happening with?
Huh?
What's 5d10 happening with?
Oh, no, not 5. It wasn't 5d10. It was 5 hundreds for king size.
Oh,
God
right.
As you walk
Also,
up to
I
this-
hate knowing only from like the headline of that page. It's like, this is fatal, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you walk
God, it is infamous.
to this foretop, there's a lot of laughter happening, and one of them's like, okay. You're waiting for a train that will take you far away. You
Damn
know where you hope the train will take you, but you can't know for sure. Yet, it doesn't matter. Now, tell me why. And then they kind of stop for a second and look at you like, I'm sorry.
There, hope you don't mind if I join you for a second.
They look around. There's 4 seats and 4 people.
That seemed like a lively conversation.
There is like, I keep imagining like a baggage section as well above these, and like areas that you could grab onto. But if you're expecting to slide in and talk, there's really no seating for that. Yeah, that side is squished and like, okay, don't. I think that's a gun on my thigh. All right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Right, let me just double check.
That's a good.
Yeah, natural 1. They are intimidated as hell.
It was like you had yourself a bit of an incense party last night.
Uh, yeah.
God, I'm bad at this. So, you have some pleasant dreams that night?
They kind of all look around and can't complain.
All right, I ain't gonna beat around the bush for long on this one. Are they safe? Your friends from last night?
Make a persuasion.
What are you? I just remember asking from that.
Persuasion feels gonna be a 22.
22. Yeah.
I ask strictly for my own peace of mind. Are your friends safe to be around?
Definitely.
I have your word.
Yep. Sorry, they're not laughing.
Yeah.
I am.
All right. What the hell did I see last night? Personal curiosity. I've seen some shit lately, but this is new.
Well, those are like, boy.
If I cast Sylvan Steed, can I?
Oh, I took a deep look into this lore before, and I'm like, nope, I gotta rewrite it. So
Yeah. So like, You dream.
I've been known to once or twice.
So, like, you're on a train, okay? You're waiting on a train.
Yeah, I heard this one.
Right. So, like, that train is going to your dream, right? And that's like a conductor.
So kind of
Or like a person.
like some sort of a spiritual dream guide.
Sure. Yeah.
A big compound-eyed conductor.
Or they all can be a little different, but sure.
Just kind of a dream escort.
Or like a dream friend.
1, 2, 3,
I don't mean to interrupt you. It's just, of all the things I expected to see last night, wasn't the first.
I get it. Usually not a problem. Sorry.
I don't mean to butt in. Oh, don't worry. You may go take a seat back from our compatriots again. May you have many pleasant evenings.
Yep.
And I'm just going to walk away.
Finally, one of the people across from the guy who initially asked the question to the group says, "Because we'll be together." Yep.
Darkest sketch. Darkest sketch. It's like, I think I met some friends today. Or at the very least, it's like, we got dream friends. They ain't violent.
But you seemed pretty scared last night.
You would be too if you saw four giant fuck off bugs on top of these motherfuckers. They were nothing good to look at. No offense to them. I'm sure they're very handsome to whoever they might be seeing.
Well, you know, people sometimes look at me and feel the same way, so I can understand.
Yeah, but they were really big bugs. I want to meet the Thrike now and discover just. It's like, oh well, we found Flint's prejudices. It's not what you might expect.
So I guess those are kind of bug-ass in look.
What? Those things are the Thrike?
The third king, of course. I meant the other things that the spectral things that you're calling
Yeah.
bugs.
Yeah, I'm going to default to just really big scary bugs.
I hear it.
Bugs. Slow
Not
bug.
to keep this train rolling. Yep.
Surprisingly very.
The train will eventually stop at that little waypoint I told you about. Dagger and James will finally leave this train. You can rest easy that no unwanted pokes will be happening from a sentient dagger.
On this train.
On this
now
train.
It's this city. It's the city's problem now.
There are more people boarding, I'm sure, every
Now,
time,
if you
though.
find
We don't
yourselves in,
know. And you said we don't know what's happening in those close quarters.
if you find yourself in Windy Snag in the future, you may hear tales of a many poking.
Is there anything that this town is known for?
This is not Windy Snag.
Oh, right,
This
yeah.
is just a little
Part.
waypoint that you would
Right.
then travel
I
from
forgot.
to get to. But Windy Snag, yeah. I don't think it's known for very much of anything except for just being a little bit stop on people's travels.
Is it a war forge? Whoa, Dominic!
I didn't do that.
You did, but it's okay. It's always going to happen.
Then it happened way. I mean, I feel like something. I felt a bump before I actually bumped anything. Like I don't know how it would have.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
No, but
It's okay.
I was still when the bump happened. Is what I'm saying.
The key is that I recorded it before it got knocked down.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
If I bumped the table, I don't know what with. That's what I'm saying.
Your elbow.
This is
Because
a big cock.
I punched.
it could be that.
I punched the table.
I do have a lot of chickens around here.
I will absolve you of responsibility.
Yeah.
I punched the table.
You did? Okay, I knew I wasn't insane. I knew I wasn't fucking crazy because I was like this. Like, I was full on Willy Wonka-ing.
Timed like perfectly
Like your
as
elbow.
you moved
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
It was-
It's probably
That
because
was
of
coincidence.
It's probably the screen.
The only reason I did it was because Matt drew attention to it.
That's fair. It wasn't my fault in the end.
You spend a little time there as people load on, load off. The patrons in front of your seating haven't changed. Some of the adventuring parties in the lower decks, if you will, have cycled out, and the train pushes on. Another 2 hours pass.
Ding, ding, ding,
How many
ding,
days?
ding, ding.
This
That
is
was our
2 of 4.
first-
2 of 4. 2 of 4. Quiet 2 hours. Perhaps having conversations with some of the people. Perhaps the young lady sitting across from you. Little small talks here and there. Before, no, you don't have to. I'm just saying perhaps. Before you are all jerked.
Would you care to finish that sentence?
Suddenly
Just finish something.
in your seats.
Don't jerk me and not finish it. That's me.
Suddenly in your seats as the train begins to come to a complete stop abruptly. You know this is not a stopping place based on the the magical voiceover telling you next stop, which would have been Kinhaven. But you are hours away from Kinhaven. But the train has stopped and people are kind of murmuring amongst each other. They're kind of trying to look out windows. It is a little more woodland here. Now that the train stopped, you can actually see out the window and see what's around you.
Sure, if you want to go up to the front, see what's up there. Or
Why,
should I?
yes, I do.
Why don't you wait here with Ursula while I start heading up front to see what my
Sounds like a
Also-
good idea.
We got 4 hours of mind link.
All right.
Welcome aboard.
Oh, Sheriff, you're going to check to see what's going on, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'll
Actually-
see you.
It's like, hold on. If I have 2 dashes, but you have extra speed in the dash, who gets there first?
I mean, there's several cars.
We're way back here, so you're there first, definitely.
Oh, yeah, okay. Those who are not in the room are not part of the mind link because I can't see.
Okay, then fair
Oh.
enough. That's just 2 of you then.
Alright.
Yeah, so
Well, I certainly would have set a thing to meet and prevent a mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if shit goes
after
down.
breakfast now.
If you want to preset
Oh,
the
yeah.
mind link,
Yeah, but that would have been a smart thing to do. So, yes.
but I
That's
have
Yeah.
said now that 2 hours have passed since
fine.
breakfast.
Right.
So now we
Okay.
have 2 hours left in it. That's fine.
Which is fine.
But assuming that there's a mind, I'm not going to leave Aranoa unbeknown, like anything. If there was no mind link, I would go for information. But we'll get information and we'll figure out what to do next.
All right, I'm gonna run my ass up there.
When you say you're going to run your ass up there, what do you
What?
mean? What do you mean?
I mean, I have 75 feet of movement per turn.
I mean, like, where are you going specifically? You're currently in the standard car, which is this one here.
Can we not get to wherever the conductor is at all?
Is that not at the home? right?
That is at the helm. That car, from the view of the standard car, is kind of like the cargo one, where there's just this big, thick door that just there is no like handle. There may be like a pane, like a shutter piece that is currently closed off, but you can tell there's like a indent box area. That's it. It opens from the inside.
All right. So what I want to do is the quickest way to get outside of the vehicle from the standard train.
Mm-hmm. It's probably about there's doors on either side at the middle of the car.
We're dead stop right now, right?
Yeah.
Like pretty sudden.
Like just enough time to stop without like derailing a train in the middle of nowhere.
All right. I'd like to get outside and see if I can see what's going on from outside.
Okay. And as you kind of spill out, you do see some other people, a mix of some train workers. Is it technically? Yeah, some of the people that like attend here with like snacks and such and whatever's, and
And
one of the guards that's there with you, and a lot of patrons have already kind of spilled out
all right.
on their own accord.
All right. And what people would be seeing is like a hand sticking up from like below the level, or just like something moving at rogue speeds,
Sure.
trying to wave authority to clear a path.
There isn't really a good. You don't see any discernible authority out here. You quickly get the sense that you might be the authority out here.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to establish.
Okay. I understand.
It's like important small person coming through.
I understand now. So yeah, people will kind of move out of your way, and like I said, it is kind of woodland here, a little rocky. There's a smell in the air that kind of gives you the sense that there's probably water nearby somewhere. A little bit of taller, not quite mountain, but like a little more than hillside out here. And as you kind of push through the small crowd that's starting to form out here and get around to where the front of this train is, down the tracks a ways, you can see a huge redwood-esque tree, too big to just lift. It's probably a good, it's trying to think about how to make this make sense. Its radius is probably a good 20 feet. It's huge.
That's a big fucking tree.
And you can't see the end of it. You can just see that from the brush, it has fallen over and is blocking the path. And it's a good 70 feet from the end of the train. Like they saw it and were like, shit! And like 70 feet sounds like a lot, but not for this.
Yeah.
Is that the cargo, right?
So what do you make of this big ass tree? Yeah, I think it's a big ass tree. Want to hit the brakes?
Now that
I want to
know
hit the
that,
brakes.
I will definitely be leaving the steerage area. Remain calm in here. We are getting information from the front that the path is blocked, and we will be keeping a lookout for any danger coming our way. And Tower will break out a fucking window and climb on top and walk towards the cargo on top of things, looking for anything coming from outside of the train towards the train.
So I can neither confirm nor deny that this is a code psi. It's a big fucking tree.
All right, we're gonna break a window.
Yep.
Or open one.
But
You
why?
can't put open one.
The windows don't open.
Is there not a door you can
The
exit?
door is fine. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
There's big.
I'm not saying you're not allowed to
they're
break
not-
a window.
they're
I'm just saying
like
it's frowned
foam
upon.
slide doors, but they're not wood or anything.
Yeah.
They're metal that like
Yeah.
for the cattle. Yeah, so that's why I was like,
Fair enough.
I guess you can,
But why?
but I told you the pressure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
open up the door, clamber up on
Yeah,
top.
you can get up on top.
Unlock the
And they'll
door.
head over to
punch
the
through
actual
window.
car, the cargo car, and
Okay.
be inside
Okay,
the cargo.
so in there, like you see the one guard that's usually in there. Like I said, there's one other guy. I think there's only two. Is that true? Maybe there's three. There's like a main dude and two guys. I think that's more accurate. So two of them are inside the cargo, and then there's the one that's outside with Flint as well. Like that person's come out, and like you're definitely ahead of them, but they're kind of getting lost in the crowd as people are figuring out what's happening. you're in there with those two guys. They seem a little rustled. I assume you let them know what's going on, and they're kind of like, okay, well, here we are. We're hunkering down. You're up on top of the train. Like I said, there's like woodlands on both sides. You can see like I just described to Flint over here with the surrounding landscape. It's a little rocky, kind of these tall outcroppings. It kind of like tapers up a little bit, ridge lines and stuff, but it's not like full blown mountains or anything.
And I'm
Idea.
specifically looking for things attacking the train.
Sure, like just make a perception check for me up there.
I would also like to clamber onto the top of the train. I would like to try and affix the gem of seeing to the sentinel shoe, just so that I could have like all of that up at once.
Sure, you can do a little later.
13.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna be like,
Yeah, checking for. Well, I won't know they're invisible until like the sight lines uncross, but
And I popped Fat Bomb Girl at this point.
Okay.
Full face.
On a 13, you see a few birds kind of just out of the brush, like out of the woodland area that you can't really see. Other than that, you just see this big, massive tree that has been felled.
were they real birds or were they just signals?
Exactly.
I'll see the signals.
Well, we all know birds aren't real.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Shah, are you still in the standard?
I am, and if Sheriff's going up top, then I'll probably go outside to see if there's someone like with the train that's trying to figure out what to do with the tree.
Ooh.
21 perception. Whenever you're ready.
Mm-hmm. And you're going out to see what's up with the tree. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, to see if we to help come up with a plan on what to do about the tree.
Okay. So I think I said, like, you can tell, like, taking some time to look it over. It's got, like, a 40-foot
So I got
diameter based on what I just said. It's huge. Right? I said 20-foot radius. So that's
Yeah. 40 foot diameter. Big tree.
the last tree.
Big tree.
But that's the base, right? And this is toward the top. It could be
That's
a
the
lot
section
bigger.
that's in front of you.
Oh wow!
Hey, redwood. That's crimson right there.
And you can figure, like, yeah, a smaller tree isn't going to stop a train like this, but a tree like that. And also, fuck, this tree's up there.
Yeah, is that looking around? Are there other trees that size?
No.
Somebody just cast like a giant growth on this motherfucker.
Are there similar trees that are not that size, but the same type of tree?
It looks like it would blend with the same. I mean, I don't need to make you make a nature check or something to figure that out. You can be like, that tree's like that tree. It seems to be of the same kind of lineage. But from what I understand with what you guys are doing, you're only getting this small little block of, as far as how much of the tree you've examined, it's like right what's in front of you, like this bark kind of thing. You haven't gone this way or that way, and you're like,
It's just really big and really inconvenient and right here.
it's like a wooden wall in front of you almost. Well, not even almost. It's like a wooden wall.
it's things seem clear in cargo. However, this seems very suspicious.
And looking that way,
It makes
where
a
it's
tree
going,
this big.
you can see that it goes about 100 feet in that direction, like the landscape, before it does go down. So you can now see that you are kind of elevated, and there is like land that way, not a whole lot. That tree is like sticking out past the end.
Yeah. This tree is anomalous.
It's weird too.
Is there someone working the train that's up at the tree? Like, clearly like working out what to do.
A small group of the caterers, if you will, have like formed at the front there.
I mean, like engineer people. Conductor.
Have we met a conductor?
Yeah.
No, you have not met a conductor.
I want to meet Mr. Conductor. I love George Carlin.
You will see not the same Dragonborn from the kitchen, but a different Dragonborn, I believe, that is now like getting off the train, taking a kind of like standing up on the platform area of the train before you like step down. Oh fuck! You can see like almost like a purplish colored gemmed scaling on him.
And I
He kind of hops down and kind of gets over and looks around, feels against it, knocks on it.
fuck.
Hello.
And as I'm looking at it with the gem of saying, oh, fuck, it's real.
Oh, the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is in fact real. Yeah. Look, just if you want to get back to your seats, we're going to figure out how to get this out of the way.
I'm with the security here. I can help.
Oh. Good.
Have you ever seen a big tree like this fall in front of them?
Nope. We usually just cruise right through.
Well, could we go slowly and use the power of the train to kind of push it as others try and direct it a certain way?
We could do that, yeah. We'd all be dead by the end of it, but we can do it, sure.
All right.
I ain't there. I'm like something.
I'll just see your reaction.
Yeah.
So does anybody here have an axe of some sort?
Just trying to think of ideas.
Well,
Yeah.
I have an idea. And I'm about to try it. Does anybody have an axe?
Oh, literally.
Unironically, in all seriousness.
I'm sure there's one or two on the train.
There must be fire axes aboard.
Yeah.
He's like, I know. A dwarf without a battle axe. I get it.
Take us quite a while to cut through this.
Technically speaking, as I pull out the rapier, this would technically do the same job if what I'm doing would work. Oh, fuck it, I'll try. I attempt to stab the tree and smite it.
Okay, roll the attack.
17.
That will hit.
All right. I will blow a
You're literally rolling to see if you can hit the broadside of the barn.
to see if it's not a
Technically.
glancing blow
Yeah,
off of the
exactly.
barn.
Yeah.
Let's see. With smite, it's going to be 3d8s.
Is this tree undead?
8, 9, 10, 11 from Dex. 11 damage to this section of tree.
You see as you strike, as you pierce this tree with your rapier, and your energy releasing into it, you do see like a crack begin to form at least in the forefront of this area. A good 6 inches long. At least an inch and a half deep.
Honestly, that was more than I expected. If somebody got me an axe, this might have been done a little sooner. Say sheath it again.
Ah,
So it is, in fact, weak to point blank annihilation.
I can punch for a very long time.
I'm curious to see how much tree you can disintegrate with your fists. Not gonna lie.
That's literally all I have to offer.
So, with you on the job, it'll only take an hour. What?
Ah,
I'm just a engineer here. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to things like this. But maybe it'd be prudent to figure out how big the tree is or where it ends.
Well, it goes beyond that hill, and it goes beyond that hill. That's a lot of tree. Don't think we're going to be moving it by hand. I don't know.
Yeah,
You see magic things, right?
I can.
Look at this tree.
Okay.
Is it unnaturally big?
I'm assuming there's no windows in the cargo hold.
Do you need me to watch the hold while you go
probably
do
is.
this?
Yeah. Are there in the steerage?
They don't care if cows can see.
Yeah.
I'm watching
Yeah,
the
you
cargo from up top.
You got a good eye on everything from
From up
our
top.
vantage. Okay, I'll come out then, and I'll cast Detect Magic.
Yeah,
The trees, if I'm still understanding that spell, the tree will glow.
It's a magical tree, y'all.
it is indeed magically large.
You get to know more information than that, though.
Yes. The School of
School
Magic.
of Magic.
The school that is affecting this tree right now is
Feels
I
like
don't remember
transmutation.
what it is called. I believe it is transmutation. I shouldn't have to look it up, but sometimes D&D is weird. And they throw you...
Healing is not an abjuration, I swear.
You get to... if it's a spell, let's say,
Mhm.
went full-blown Jimmy Stewart there. Do you get to know what the spell's name is?
I
Just the School
You
of
are
Magic.
correct.
Just a school. Huh?
Yeah,
This is
just
way too much
see an
spell.
aura around it.
This is
If
way
it
too
has-
much
if
tree.
there's magic, and you learn the School of Magic, then
Then
Why is there so much tree
I
here?
think that the answer would be transmutation. There it is, transmutation.
can I then sit here and identify it and learn the spell that's affecting it?
what does identify have to say about that?
That is-
Isn't that well?
Identify would specifically identify any spell affecting a thing.
Regardless if the thing itself is the source of the magic. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
If it's a
Why,
magic
yes, this
item-
tree is made out of tree.
If it's a magic item or some other magic-imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you have such a creature, doesn't matter.
Like, if it happens to be a giant shillelagh, we would know that.
It says if the spell is affecting it, you learn what it is.
but if like you cast invisibility on a chair, on a normal
And
chair,
you're
Yeah, then I would
identifying
identify.
that
I would not identify the chair, but I would identify that whatever I am identifying is invisible. Says my eyes to my brain.
Learn it's a chair that has invisible cast on it.
Yeah, you.
is that what you would figure out? And you can do that?
It would
Right,
specifically-
identifying that.
If I can touch the chair for 1 to 10 minutes, depending on ritual casting, then I could identify that this chair is in fact now made out of invisible.
If I could touch an invisible chair for a minute as a person,
I would realize pretty quickly, but yes.
Maybe it's
I
a
would
bad
also-
example.
Yeah,
I would
But
also
you get what I mean. Like an
I would-
object that someone has cast something up, perhaps.
I would also learn
You
that
get to learn that spell.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't learn the spell, you learn that it is said
Learn
spell.
what
That's
spell
that's
it
what I
is,
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean.
I am not Mega Man. I have.
I'm not saying that you gain the invisibility spell.
I have
That
your-
would be
I have your
badass.
powers now.
That was a bad choice of
Yes,
words
yes.
on me, I guess. But I knew what I meant. I mean, yes, you get to know that someone cast invisibility on that chair.
I
You would
think
know that.
so.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that somebody cast it, but you would know that.
Invisibility had been
Yes.
cast
Mhm.
on that chair.
yeah.
Yes, the spell invisibility is
Is on the
afflicting this chair
Even if
that I
it's just
cannot
for-
see.
The duration of a normal invisibility spell.
I think
It's
I mean,
not a
if-
permanent invisibility.
If the invisibility spell runs out in the middle of your identify, then I feel like the issue has solved
Again,
itself.
We're using the wrong spell.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yes.
so in this case, if you're doing that,
Yeah.
you can identify that this
And
tree
they're touching the tree. for
has
10
some
minutes.
form of enlarge, reduce. In this case, the enlarge is on it. But it seems to be magnified to a degree that's insane.
Do you-
Honestly, part of me hoped it is under the effects of reduce. It's like, Oh, that's a worse. Oh, that's a worse problem.
Way worse.
This is a way worse
How
problem.
long that lasts for?
If you know
Long
the
enough to
answer.
rob a train.
Yeah, is that on anyone's list? Because otherwise, I'm not.
What
Saying
level
you
is
don't
that?
learn the properties of the spell, do you?
I do have that.
You would
one.
learn the properties of the thing.
Oh, well, there
So,
you go. Ooh.
yes, you would learn the duration of
It
a standard.
lasts for up to a minute.
Under normal a normal circumstance, I would say yes. It lasts up to a minute.
Right. But this-
Which means that over the course of an
Use that
identify
to
spell,
reduce it.
But it has not reduced within that.
That's a good question. I don't have it prepared for me. So.
for an hour,
You
I
have
thought.
to do a long rest.
Wait, over the course of that 10 minutes, or it did not reduce.
And it's not a ritual rest.
No, it's not.
This current object is outlasting the basic normal function of an enlarged
Well, if
reduce.
you want to wait 4 hours, because that's all you need.
That's true. Yeah, I could start doing a rest, and then if it's all figured out by then, I could try casting and do silence.
So if this tree is not here by accident, we don't have full fucking
No, I don't
hours.
think so. But
Joking this.
but it's possible.
Do we have any magics?
It's a good joke. Do we have solutions?
Yeah, do we have any magics that specifically get rid of magics?
I don't think I do. I was just gonna check that.
My paladin ass doesn't have third level spells yet.
No, that's third level. I don't have it.
I have point blank annihilation, 4 more charges worth thereof.
Yeah,
Wait, 5. I can't spell slot.
the bug creature things. What all can they do?
Be hallucinations mostly, to my knowledge. I don't think they were physically present on the plane. More like a vivid hallucination, made very vivid by a certain gem. Although, you know what, fuck, I want to ask him. I'd like to go back to the clash stars real quick and see if they're giant friendly bug slugs, companion friends, can do anything astrally about this.
Rose coming at me with the hard questions.
You put them on the train, I'm going to put them to work.
You give us a hard problem, we gotta come up with some good solutions.
Absurdist problems require absurdist solutions. The results are surprisingly vivid.
These are generic and ensues, that's why. Here we go.
I will force this meme.
The answer is
Perhaps.
Yes. No.
not
$1
really.
million, but you must live the rest of your life as a crab that can only answer questions nebulously. Perhaps.
The answer is they are not so much a physical being as they are a mental being. And the powers that they could possibly imbue are as such.
So,
Moving a tree,
less
moving
punch ghost
moving a-
and more ghost ghost.
moving a huge ass tree is a little out of the wheelhouse.
It is also a weird house.
Fellow humans person is still on the train.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what their deal is.
Their deal is
Oh yeah, what's up with the end being 9?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is a thing we can sort out while we try to beat a tree in a submission.
It's the right day for it. Okay.
it technically is. Ooh,
This is
was it foretold?
Is a soaring
shit.
Is this the end?
is a searing strike fire irradiant?
For what it's worth, it may be
4
the end
hours.
of the session.
I hear you.
Also
I hear
that-
you. I hear you.
Also,
But I feel something
Oh, wow.
happening soon. That's the other part of it. So, and it's a weekend, so it's not a big deal. So,
And also just letting
Damn it.
you Try to formulate some kind of plan.
If I had 4 hours, I could get Searing Smite.
And I could prep them more peace.
Well, we'll see if this attack takes 4 hours before it starts.
Should I sit down and start resting?
You do whatever you're doing up there. I'm going to be.
I will, just in case, but if something starts popping off, I'll cut my rest short, of course.
In all fairness, I do have to change my...
Oh, I'll rest, I'll rest in the cargo hold.
Sure.
I'll go back to the cargo hold and rest in there.
In all fairness, I would have to change spells in the morning specifically because of religious reasons.
Stupid religion.
Because of religious reasons. Damn.
I do have.
You know, paladins and clerics are allowed to say, for religious reasons.
I do have.
I'm not allowed to be.
If I see anything from up here, I will let everybody know. It will sound like a lady dwarf.
So the plan of removal so far is what exactly?
Punch it harder, counterspell it, and then punch it.
Anybody here magical? I say expect that.
You just need something to dispel this magic, man.
If we take a coin, we flip it underneath in such a way that it lodges itself underneath the tree,
Sure.
does it
But it
portal
has to
cut it?
move. Oh, just to cut it.
I mean,
How
we
you
would
get
have
it to
we
where
would go
the
through some
person
serious
lands
change
top
on
of the
that.
tree, and then the portal would just be on top of the tree. I don't think there's any
You can't throw it on top of the tree. You got to cut through. You got
I
to get
know,
under the
that's
tree.
why I'm saying I don't think there's a way to get it there.
No, I don't think that's what happens.
No, just a good sleight of hand shot. Flick it under the tree.
What if I shot my rope at it and just pulled it? With my rope?
That's a lot of tree.
I have my carpenter's tools. We can use my saw.
If I smite it with the second level slot,
I'm guessing that's a no from
if I cast command on the
You
tree,
don't get many takers of who's out here with the.
I command the tree. I ask it to move.
Unfortunately, this tree does not appear to be sentient.
Oh, I was literally next going to be like, is it a sentient tree?
I put my quarterstaff under the
If
tree.
only we had James now.
Yeah.
And have at it.
God,
Levers and fulcrums, we learned this at school.
exactly. Yes. I have a lever. Still, this is all problems. Except you have
Winch.
ropes, right?
Holy, so much rope and so much leverage.
Could oil of slipperiness help in this situation?
Ah, interesting.
Depends on how big the tree actually
You
is.
still have to have enough power to push. That's why I got the train going very slowly.
I mean, maybe if we combine the two,
Apparently that will kill
maybe
everyone.
we try to grease the tracks where the train would be pushing it, and then
That sounds real risky.
If I cast Fine Steed underneath the tree and a creature suddenly displaces it, well, that probably just results in chunky salsa.
Attach the rest of the train and are only using the engine portion, so it's not also pulling all that weight behind it.
If I use Wrathful Smite to put fear on the tree, does it have to move away from me?
While like we talked
Well,
about
it doesn't have to. It can only not
pull
move
as
closer.
The train is like pushing it, so we can move it away. That was my thought. What do I know? I'm no engineer.
Fire.
Searing Smite.
Just a few hours of fire.
I have a fire cantrip.
Just light a control flame underneath an axe so that I can 1,000-degree blade.
Does anybody have any ability to summon water on the edges of the tree where we don't want it to burn? So that we burn a nice clear path without causing damage. I don't fucking know, y'all. I'm not a magic person. I'm just a robot.
Wait,
If I take the Oath of the Ancients and use Speak with Animals,
to gather as many large birds in the area as I can and get them to use their government super wings to move the problem.
If we took all their batteries out and made one machine using all the batteries from the birds.
If I cast Hunter's Mark on the tree, do I get an extra d6 of damage when I hit?
It's about this time as you're formulating plans. Wow.
That we realized we fucked up.
Tower, you're the first to clock this as you are perched on top of the train. The brush from the origin of the tree, but probably a good 50 feet back, so like partway to the train, begins to rustle further in than what you would be able to see down by the floor of the train, but from up there, you can see it deep within. And you have like just one action about to warn people, try to cut it off maybe, whatever it is, or something, but not much time.
I assume you tell us immediately.
So yeah, the mind link happens, but also in addition to that, I have another thing going on where I can amplify my voice so that all creatures within 600 feet can hear me. And they hear, "Get on the train now! We're being attacked from the west side!" If assuming it was the west side, I'm going to give them the correct side. Okay.
West side it was. You see people kind of get jostled by the sudden booming from your voice, but
Quickly and orderly, everyone on the train.
clock you as in see you, and begin like orderly, ish,
Shut all the doors, windows.
quickly funneling back in as nobody gets stampeded. It's on the brink as people try to muscle their ways back in.
Simultaneously, I'll hit my step with the wind, so I get a bonus dash. Get my dash that direction.
And I
Tell
want
my
to start
crew.
dashing towards the back of the train.
Yeah, I position myself in between the brush and the train while in my mind's mouth, telling my people where to be and what the danger looks like. Slow falling.
As you're slow falling,
Swear to the gods, it better not be a slug bug.
the tree line, brush line of this area, you see 4 humanoid, at least at first, beings break through. They seem to be wearing armor. They're holding blades, but as you focus in on their faces, you see fur. You see feline snoutedness and white and black and orange patterns and striations. They look to be some kind of tiger people that are rushing in here.
How many did you say?
About 4 come running through, and they are intent on the train, but as the doors are being slid shut for the patrons, it's really just your compatriots. The engineer is still out there. And you're still in the steerage?
I was in the cargo, but
Excuse me, you're in the cargo.
I don't know. I guess I should start coming out.
But you're currently in the cargo.
It's your choice. You heard the voice.
Yeah,
I was running on top of the train, and
Probably. I should probably come out. Yeah, I'll start taking my way
I'm
out.
just saying, you're in the cargo. You're about to get out because the kicker is this is probably where we'll stop it, and and we will conclude this business later. However, a little fun thing I can do here is probably just do this one. This is where we find out how good my speakers are. Oh, you absolute piece of shit.
There's something up my shoulder. Like it's real rough.
Oh yeah. So again, yeah, they spill out blades. They're coming for the train, and just in that moment, ding, 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 you know, it freezes, and we hear this instead. In theory, I hear nothing.
It is relatively lower level on there.
It's not playing anything.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But this is a different song.
I think it's because of the way that it's set up for voice mod. I think I'd have to go here and do this. Okay. No?
Is the vial or wherever you're playing it actually not playing? Or is it just not coming out?
It's playing, it's not coming on the speakers.
Because remember, you had to change your output to your headphones the other day. You have to manually switch it back.
Yeah, that'd be weird. I think it's because of the way that's all set up now. And I can't play it for again.
Is there a title you want to give me for a YouTube video or some shit?
It was just the theme.
Oh, I just want to okay, that. I mean, you know, I can stop the recording anytime. I'll just add this.
Maybe what's up with that? I like that recently.
We've
Oh, okay.
Okay, we should be good.
Okay.
Mission accomplished.